Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully, everyone has had themselves a great new year. And 2026 is upon us. Boy, time flies. Of course, the future here is nothing what I expected as a kid. I mean, where's my flying car? I will continue to ask that question. Nevertheless, let me go over here, hit that like and share, and ask you guys to do the same thing. Let everybody know we're on today. Of course, we've been on our normal end of year hiatus, and I was extremely busy jumping around and doing all manner of things, and hopefully you were too. But we're going to get back to it here and get into the various entertainment news and geopolitics as well as we like to get into. But let me see. There we go. That is shared. Yes, you're going to get dizzy. All righty. All right. Very nice. All right. So let me know, how were things for you guys? What did you get up to? I went to a bunch of parties and gatherings. I traveled a little bit, went to northern cities, and did some hotel stays, and had myself a good time. A little bit tired, but it's good. It's one of those situations you take a holiday and then you need a holiday for the holiday, that kind of thing. But nevertheless, let's see here. All right, good. It's all working. Everything is still in place as it should be. Now, because we've had the drop, and even though I was very explicit, I'd imagine everything will be quite slow today. But we'll see if anybody drops in with me and says hello, and see if anybody drops in the chat as well. See how things go today. But it's always like that at the beginning of the year. I do have a couple things to cover today in regards to entertainment news and maybe a little bit of searching of what might be interesting. But I guess the big news since I've been gone, of course, is Maduro in Venezuela. The absolute panic by China and to a point by Russia. The fact that everyone's missing China is certainly affected by what happened in Venezuela, but everyone seems to be missing the point that I'd say the country hit hardest by the Maduro situation is actually Canada. Yeah, and no one's talking about that. Of course, we also have the People's Uprising in Iran, which is really awesome. Finally, we're getting some movement from the people. Literally millions of people out in the streets. There, many of the towns and even big cities like Tehran have fallen to the people in their revolution, their uprising. Now, of course, the government was quite slow to push back hard, but they have, and they're announcing hundreds of dead, but I think it's probably thousands. Uh, we'll see in the end when it all gets done. But to show you how desperate that regime is, they shut down their internet. I mean, all of it, and that includes for them, right? So that's how desperate they are. They've even cut their own communication down. But of course, then Elon just turned on free Starlink for everyone in the area, and we're still getting information out. But the reason I say this is a good thing is because the people themselves are doing it. This is not some foreign power in there, forcing regime change, backing one side with tons of weapons and stuff, which, America loves to do, and always fails spectacularly, right? It just ridiculously so. So that's not what's going on. They're fighting for their own freedom, as it should be. And they're setting an example for the rest of the world. I mean, these people are literally in mass marching into gunfire. This is bravery. This is how you take your country back. And there's a lot of little countries around the world that are under similar horrible tyrannical regimes that need to do the same thing. Instead of running away in mass and migrating to other countries like, say, Europe and America, they need to stay in their home and make it right. Excuse me. And the Iranians are showing them how that's done. and it's wonderful. Of course, it's nowhere near over, but it's made a really, really good start here for them. Do keep in mind when Jimmy Carter and the Democrats decided to work toward getting rid of the Shah and backing the Muslim theocracy, right? That was Jimmy Carter was part of that. Don't forget it. It took a year for that to all take place, right? And it's the saddest thing because before that, Iran was a really good ally of America and other countries, including Israel. But the Democrats got it in their head that that's what needed to happen, and so therefore the poor people of Iran have had to suffer for 47 years under this nonsense because of you know Muslim theocracies, but also you know American Democrats and European lefties. It's far from over. I'm well aware of it, Roger. But it's a great start. A great start. The people in the streets, they've taken a lot of places. Tons of mosques and government buildings and stuff have been burned to the ground. Uh, it's uh, it's a legitimate start to a revolution. Legitimate. Now, I'm not going to be foolish and sit here and say that the Americans aren't in there somewhere causing some manner of consternation, because I'm sure they are. Mossad has been there all along. So, the Israelis are certainly in there helping. I guess it depends how you look at it. So I know there is stuff going on behind the scene, but scenes that aren't Iranian only. But the people are very motivated. I'd say a good place if you're interested in watching it from their point of view. There is a YouTuber called Meyer Tusi on Tusi TV. You can find it on YouTube. It's a growing channel. He talks about all kind of stupid leftist stuff, but of course he's an Iranian who escaped Iran. His family is still there, or at least his father is. But he is covering it really well because he's connected to the Crown Prince. He's also has a lot of people on the ground. He's getting Starlink information. So probably some of the best coverage you're going to find on planet Earth in regards to what's going on with the revolution in Iran is going to come from Meyer Tusi. The Traveling Clad is also doing some good stuff too, but he's not as well connected. Now, if you want to talk about the main, media publications that we have out there, well, they don't seem to care about it at all. Matter of fact, the BBC had to be chided by a large amount of their celebrities to even begin talking about it. Uh, but
Hmm.
but then there it is. Oh, we have a Thundero. Hello, Mr. Thundero.
Hola, senor. How are we?
I'm doing well. I'm just talking about the wonderful uprising of the people of Iran against their oppressors.
Oh, Justin, we got a lot to talk about.
We
It's
got
been
to.
it's been a minute at
It
the beginning of this
has.
year.
It has. Now, is that the
President just woke
traditional?
up and was like, listen, I'm going to just change the world real quick. Just real quick, I'm going to do that.
Oh
And
no.
he's
Yeah.
been.
Yeah. 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 No, and now you're using it's been a minute in the traditional way, not the current urbanite way.
A little bit of both.
Oh, okay. All right. You've been infected. Fair enough. But no. I love how so many people keep saying Trump never does what he says. What do they use the word taco to Trump always
Hmm.
chickens out? It's like, have you
Hmm.
not been paying attention? I mean, even a little bit. I mean, the one thing
Hmm.
that terrifies these dictators around the world is the fact that Trump does exactly what he says he's going to do.
Yeah,
Yeah. They seemingly missed something.
but it's the media mostly.
Yeah. No, sure. And the idiots that follow them. And talking about
Hmm.
idiots that follow them, looks like there was some deranged lady that got herself shot.
Oh, we're supposed to be real sad that a communist died.
No, I'm not sad at
Listen, it's
all.
2026. We're taking out communist dictators. We're taking out communist crazies on the street. This is a
Yeah,
win for America. What that is.
it is. Well, no, they should be arresting these people more frequently. They're being too soft. When
They
you
are.
have people standing on the sidewalk protesting, fine, no problem, that you're allowed. But you're not allowed to
Yeah.
walk in the street. You're not allowed to
Yeah.
block doorways. You're not allowed to harass people and burn shit. That's called rioting, and that's illegal.
You're definitely not allowed to intervene in any way with a federal agent in the middle of a federal operation. He was an anti-police activist for a very long time, anti-police brutality activist for a very long time.
Yeah,
This is known.
yeah.
The one thing you don't ever do outside of a courtroom is fuck with a federal agent.
No,
Just
no,
don't do it.
that's
It
not
doesn't
true
matter what
everywhere.
your reasoning is.
Yeah, that's true everywhere. And of course, they had been she and her wife, who a lot of these lefties seem to forget was right there in the car with her. Um,
Yeah, like
um, that they were harassing them all day. And here's the interesting thing for me with that particular story: the the wife, right, the one who's not
mhm.
dead, right? She took full ownership of that. She said that
Yep.
this my fault. I ginned her up off of this. I got her all hyped up about it. It's we were running around all day doing that. It's my fault. Now, I give her credit for that, for taking
Yep.
responsibility for her own actions. However, have you heard that statement from her mentioned on any lefty outlet?
No, no,
No.
no, no,
No.
because it's got to be Trump's fault for trying to enforce the law. How dare
Right.
he try and do
Yeah.
his job? By the way, his actual job is exactly that: to enforce the law. The
Sure.
executive branch. That is his job.
It is.
So he's
Yeah.
doing his exact job. If you don't like what the law is, then change the law.
It's
Get that
true.
done.
Yeah, he said this himself. He is the commander in chief. That is true.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting for the arrest of all these seditious, so-called leadership and rulers of our country,
Oh, it needs to
because
happen.
sedition is widespread. That's for sure.
You
Yeah,
can't be a governor. Like I'll give a normal citizen a pass if they want to say some stupid shit about seditious stuff. Whatever.
sure.
Any effect. But a governor, you're talking about declaring war with the federal government,
Yeah. No.
buddy.
They should be arrested.
Those are dangerous, dangerous words, and
Yeah.
he should have been arrested immediately. Marshall should have
Well,
came and got him that day.
I have a feeling this year will also be softish, because of the midterm elections that, of course, will come up in November. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, kind of assuming the gloves will come off. And I know some of you saying, "Well, he's being real rough right now." No, he's not. Trust me.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
if I were
No,
in
rough would
there,
be Maduro.
yeah, no, that's
That
true.
was rough.
Or
That
yeah,
was an 88 minutes to topple a whole country, take the most important oil reserves allegedly on the planet. I still
yeah,
think America has more. We just lie about it on the planet. Uh,
yeah.
that was the most impressive. I'm just going to say it. I've been thinking it this whole time. I've been trying to think of one that compares. That was the most impressive military operation in the history of the world.
It was
88
cool.
minutes. They took over
Well,
a whole country.
yeah,
It's done now. It's
yeah.
ours.
The funny thing about that is, and I actually get Trump's point on this. We know he loves glamour and the money shot, right? We know that.
Mm-hmm.
But normally in that situation, we just send SEALs in. We don't send our
Mm-hmm.
best of the best because we don't need it. The SEALs get it done, right? But
Right.
Trump is, I think, in his head, this is an assumption, is like, we get all this really cool stuff. Why are we using it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
He literally unleashed the silver bullet package, which, we know we have. It's a thing.
Yeah.
If you follow that kind of stuff, you know it. I know we have dumb names for stuff, but we're Americans. Yahoo! We know we have it, but we never use it. It's almost like the nuclear threat, right? But Trump is like,
Right.
why don't we use it? He
Why
literally
not?
sent the freaking Night Stalkers in, and he sent Delta. We
Yeah.
we don't even ever talk about Delta. Now I know they don't call it Delta anymore, but we get it when I say that. He
It's that.
sent
That's what it
what do they call it now?
Oh, that I mean, I'm agreeing with you. That's what it is. They just don't call it that anymore.
Yeah, no,
That's what it is.
they got some initial thing for it now. But
Yeah.
he just sent the guns in, the
Mm-hmm.
best, our best pilots. Now you talk about 88 minutes, dude. The Night Stalkers, which are the best pilots on Earth, if you didn't know, they
Mm-hmm.
went in. They actually secured all the ground sites in 3 minutes.
You know,
dude.
like this is my point. What I'm agreeing with you. People
Yeah,
are saying you think stuff. You don't even know what that means in 2026. I guess you don't really know because you don't understand the level of technology military operators actually.
yeah,
You don't
that's
get it.
true.
You
Yeah.
just don't. You're
Well,
thinking 30, 40 years ago. You don't understand.
well, they intercepted a bunch of communications between some military personnel who survived the situation because they killed a
Mm-hmm.
lot. They took Maduro and his wife, but they killed a bunch of generals as well. No one seems to be talking about that. But a military guy who survived the onslaught at the compound has been communicating with other South American dictators and
Yeah.
Central American dictators. And in that intercepted call, he was explaining what they had to deal with. And I don't know what we call it, but they deployed a sonic weapon during that event and caused everyone to heave over, vomiting and bleeding from various orifice. So that's yay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No. And I think people don't even, like I said, people don't really understand. We have sonic weapons. We've had them for a while. We just never really used them. We have energy weapons. That's not even debatable. We have
Well,
them.
we've seen the
We just
laser
don't
one.
use
Yeah,
this stuff.
we don't.
We just don't use this
Yeah,
stuff because we don't really have a reason to usually.
yeah,
But it was very clear that the president of the United States said, "I want no casualties. I want to hit them with everything we got. I want in and out."
yeah,
That was clear,
yeah.
and that's exactly what he got.
And I appreciate it. Using the best that we have shows the world what we have a little bit. And
Yeah.
that's such a flex. But it's just so cool, dude. We know Delta exists, but we never get to hear about them. They always send in the mid-level Navy SEALs because because they get it done. They're very capable, right? But we never hear about Delta, right? Ever,
Yeah.
other
No.
than the myth of it. And he just dropped them on top of him in force. Dude, that's freaking badass.
It
And
is.
it
I
is.
like when America does badass shit.
So do
I
I.
do.
Yeah.
I
And
like
I
watching it. I like seeing it. I like knowing that my country can still do it. Because, for a very long time, especially thanks to those quagmire bullshits that the military industrial complex had us in to make money,
yeah, well sure.
uh, people forgot that what Americans are capable of. I said this the other day too, and I'm trying to think. I think the American warfighter is probably the most efficient in the history of the planet. Because when you stop and think about it, when we actually go to do what we are supposed to do,
Yeah.
we do it very quickly and very easily. It's not even I mean, in the last 70 years anyway, yeah, we had Vietnam, we had Afghanistan, but that wasn't because of our warfighter. That was the politicians' reason that shit happened. It had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the men on the ground.
Yeah.
The ground did
Well,
their job believably professionally.
yeah. Well, no, I mean, and I think it's really good for us to remind the planet of these things from time to time.
Yeah.
And because just the Marine, which I'm not dissing the Marines at all, but because
Mhm.
Army, they do fight, but the Army is more about logistics. I mean, really.
Right, right.
The Air Force and Navy do their things at a distance, but the Marines are our fighters on the ground. But
Mhm.
as it sits in the world today, the American Marine is about 110, 120 to 1. Now, what that means
Right.
is one Marine will kill 110, 120 people before he perishes, right?
Mhm.
That's a lot. Now you move up to
That's a bit.
Delta. I don't even know what that freaking number is.
Well, nobody does because, like you were saying, we don't talk about Delta.
No.
Delta's one of the ones we don't talk about, and I'm sure there's others too, but they're definitely one of them. And for a long time, I remember it, even in my lifetime, it didn't exist. Right? That was the official line. Delta Force wasn't real. It
Sure. Right.
doesn't exist. That's a myth. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute, this guy disappeared. What happened?
Right. No.
Uh,
Yeah. No.
it's
I
it's
know it
one of those things.
exists.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like the stealth bombers, right? The stealth capabilities. They didn't exist for a decade until they decided, hey, yeah, we got that. We got that. We have that. So
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what we have. Trump's been saying for a long time we have stuff that nobody's ever seen before. Nobody comes close to us. I think he's correct. That
Oh
that
no. We
operation
know that. Yeah.
it was amazing.
Well,
A country of 30 million people with a dictator who was so confident in his own security that he literally was bragging at Trump to come get him. Well,
yeah. Well, he
oops,
got.
he did.
He got. And but no, even like this new F-47 that they're bringing out, that they're
Yeah.
showing us, that thing's over
Hmm.
20 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, right? Now we still got people in the world, governments in the world that use F-15s, F-16s. I guess they still produce them, I suppose. But
They
and
do.
those things are very effective. They are good. But
Yep.
America does not give its best stuff, not even close to its best stuff, even to the Japanese or the Israelis. So, you know, but I know I loved it. I thought it was great, that we, showed our muscle. I love that Trump's got that little bit of child in him, because people complain about that part of him, but I love it.
It's
It,
good.
it is good.
You want
Uh,
that in your leader. You want a leader who's got a little bit of that. I got to swing my dick sometimes.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
that's
great.
good.
And I had a an event, so I did talk to my students when that happened. It was like the day
Hmm.
after or something like that, before I went on my vacation. And of course, they're ginned up here to be anti-Trump no matter what, right? And they
Yeah.
were complaining about the Venezuela thing. I says, well, okay, why don't you go on the internet and go look at Venezuelans dancing in the street by the millions and see what they think
Yeah.
about it, right?
Hmm.
And they said, but people died. I was, uh-huh, and
And
and yeah, these are military
well,
people
hang on.
keeping a
Let's be
regime in.
calm here. These were communists. Let's be very
Yeah, their
discreet
own
about that
military.
p word.
Yeah,
They don't deserve to live. I don't care what. As long as you're a communist, you're not a person.
that's
I
true.
can make the argument if you want, but it's just reality. You have to treat them that way because they're parasites and they're going to destroy and rape and pillage and plunder thing around them until there's nothing left. An example is Venezuela. It should be one of the richest countries in the world. It is the richest country in the world, and yet somehow they're poor as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, and there's a lot of things to further talk about, but Tank here, Tank Farad is talking about, because he has a military career. Uh,
Hmm.
um, so many Cuban special operators died to bring us Maduro. I don't know about that. He said he worked alongside Delta Boys in Iraq. I'm sure you did because the Army supports. This one time in Baghdad, I was the gunner on a lead Humvee in an emergency relief mission to help our local Delta detachment. Sure. Army,
Nice.
Marines, all that stuff give support to our Pentagon shooter teams because that's what they are, right? Because my dad worked at the Pentagon, right? He was
Hmm.
one of these people, but he never called it Delta or anything like that. They just the way he explained it to me was when any agency in America needs a shooter team, they don't do it themselves.
Yeah.
The CIA, all this Hollywood bullshit about the CIA is not correct. The CIA mostly sit at desks behind computer
Right.
screens or go over and try to create sedition in countries. That's what they do. But when they do need
Hmm.
action, no matter whether it be the DEA or NSA or NSS or whatever it is, they will call the Pentagon and the Pentagon will send them a shooter team. That's how we break it down in our government. So they don't; those guys don't refer to themselves as Delta. I think I don't know. Tank would know better, but I know my father never mentioned anything like that. He just would say a Pentagon shooter team, right? Now I don't
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
know all of my dad's involvement and stuff, so maybe he was attached to something different. I don't know. But Tank here, because I know a lot of guys have talked about the Delta guys coming in and them supporting them, giving them logistics and things like that. But
Right.
it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, it's badass. That's what's
Yep.
most important here. And I love the fact that Trump was like, "We got the silver bullet package. Why aren't we using it? Send him in."
Why not we using that? Well, it's the
Yeah,
same reason he dropped Moab. Remember, he dropped
yeah,
Moabs in
yeah,
Afghanistan because he's like, well, we got them, as well
yeah.
use them.
Well, you might as well use them.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's wonderful. And of course, another thing, just to go back and stress on Iran. You know, these
Persia.
Iranians, well, there are other ethnicities in Iran, but yeah, the Persians.
I know.
Um, but they are leading the way. They're showing what you need to do. The amount of
Hmm.
bravery coming out of these people is impressive. Because they're literally marching into gunfire in mass,
Hmm.
and the lines are the IRGC lines are falling because they just can't kill enough of them because they're
No.
all coming and they're just marching right into the gunfire. It's freaking awesome. It's what you should do. There are so many countries on this planet right now that the people need to stand up and straighten out their shit. They need to do this
Yeah.
instead of running away. All the military age guys running away to Europe or America
Hmm.
to make
Oh,
a
they're not just running;
profit.
they're being paid.
They are,
They're being paid to come.
but you know what I mean. It's
Hmm.
it's
It's these
marvelous.
globalist networks, which Trump. We're going to pivot away from the awesome spectacle that is the United States military at its peak, which it is, which Trump has been also doing. Like I said, he just woke up on January 1st, was like, all right, we're changing the world. We're
Yeah,
coming in hot.
yeah.
Takes out Maduro, takes Venezuela, secures the hemisphere. Awesome. Needed to be done years ago. I'm glad somebody finally did it, and he did it without an American dying. Even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he starts ramping up the Greenland talks again. Yep, take it. There's absolutely no reason we shouldn't have it. Denmark has done nothing with it. It's a waste of
Well,
space for them. Get out
Denmark
of here.
can't
Take
do
it.
anything with it. They don't have the resources to do anything with the
Exactly.
land.
Take it, buy it from them, do whatever you got to do. Just get it under American control.
Yeah.
Awesome.
To be
The
honest with
things that
you,
I think personally are more important are the domestic policies he's been demanding and implementing, like the end of ridiculous credit card rates. He's demanding now that Congress comes with him to lower these credit card rates down to a cap at 10%, which is what they always should have been. They should have never been allowed to go higher than that.
are we going to
That's a
get
good thing.
into the usury conversation again? I bet you we are.
No, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing for
It
everybody
is a good
involved. I
thing.
get it. Some people are like, well, people won't be able to get credit cards. Why would you give a poor person a credit card? That's just retarded. What are you doing? And second of all, he then, and this is the biggest one I think, and it needs to be codified into law, the regulation, changing the regulation so companies like BlackRock and these other big corporations can't buy single family homes to later sell on the black market or on the open market or to rent out. That is beautiful. That needs to happen. But on the back end of it, he needs to remove as many restrictions as he can to get people building more. You need to do both. This idea that you only have to do one. The libertarians like, you can't tell them they can't buy them. Yes, he can. Shut up.
Yeah.
And then the other people over here, the lefties, are, you can't make them build more houses. Yes, he can. Shut up.
Well,
That's the answer.
yeah.
Use the market. Don't try to control the market. Use the market.
Yeah.
Competitive competition to make things cheaper.
The thing with housing, particularly in blue states, is the regulation, right?
Yes.
That's why housing prices have jacked through the roof. It's not just people saying, well, I can make more money off of it. It's not just greed. It's
and the illegals.
And that too. But there's just you have to have this amount of wood in the wall for this thing, or you need to have this amount of insulation or this type of covering, and the restrictions they're putting on are just doubling, tripling, quadrupling the price of everything just to build a house, because
which is ridiculous.
Right, it is ridiculous. There are a few ways to build a house, right? You got stick and frame, and that's pretty standard, cheap thing, but it's not cheap anymore because of all these regulations, and concrete and et cetera, timber framing, et cetera, et cetera. Uh, but um, but yeah, just getting rid of those regulations, you'll see housing costs have probably more like third in themselves.
I also need these
Or two-thirds.
so-called experts to explain to me why my house, which is 100 years old next year, built in 1927, the house I'm standing in currently in its kitchen, my house is here, fine, been standing for 100 years. It didn't follow any of those regulations when it was built. Regulations for. What are they doing?
Well,
they're clearly not making structural integrity better, because
right.
in every house on my street is probably about 100 years old.
Right.
So,
Well, one,
explain.
Democrats need to show that look what I did. That's a point.
Hmm.
And it's also about driving up the housing prices so they can get more money off of property tax. Understand that this
Yes.
is a big point. This
Which
is
is
why,
another thing they're coming after. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. They basically want to jack up the value of your house because if they jack up property tax, people get upset. But if they increase the
That's right.
value of your house, well, you're still paying more, aren't you?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. There's
Well, here's the other
there's
thing that he's talking
shitheads.
about. We have in my state, I don't know the full scope of them. I haven't looked into them, but I know they passed a whole bunch of reform on property tax in Ohio just recently. Our governor signed these bills into law. But I know that in Florida and other places, they're trying to abolish it entirely because it's immoral. I don't care what it funds, it's immoral. And I think that's something Trump needs to get behind, especially considering he keeps teasing investor. He's like a $2 whore at this point with the teasing me over here. This income tax, he keeps thought he's going to get rid of it. I'm like, Trump, buddy, you do that. Big push, you get your whole base behind you because I promise you we're coming with you. And we do it. You are the greatest American president in the history of the country. And it's not close because you just liberated the whole country from the oppression of the income tax. It's oppression.
Yeah,
Let's call it what it is.
it is.
You're being percent of your check goes to the state to just disappear into the void and apparently pay a bunch of Somalians to fake daycares. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, no, the Somali thing, dude, I know they're focusing on Minnesota, but
Oh, it's everywhere.
I guarantee you it's everywhere, dude. We do have a Grimlock. We have been joined, but he is muted. I don't know why.
He's a silent Grimlock.
Would you like to say hello, Grimlock, and Happy New Year?
Oh, Happy New Year.
Oh, nice. I got a Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and you, Thundera, and everybody else.
It's been a happy new year. Trump has decided that America's 250th anniversary was going to be a good one, and he's going all out, and I'm for it.
Yeah.
I support it.
No, I have good feelings about this year. Economically, it's going to be great. I know that.
I really don't see how anybody with a brain can be against the concept. The implementation, we'll see how it goes. But the concept of limiting interest rates to 10% maximum credit card. Why are you against? I want somebody who's for the credit card companies to be able to do whatever the fuck they want. I want somebody who's for that to tell me why it's a good thing that they're allowed to do this.
And especially seeing it's all foreign money and foreign power. These Americans, there is no American that has any hand or control in the credit card business.
Yes.
None
Not
of that
only
money
that,
comes to us.
The people like me who have decent credit and get points and all these rewards, I'm being subsidized by the poor people who don't have that because they don't get all that benefit. All they get is a huge APR rate, and they just get interest rate into oblivion. Whereas the people who are at which this would be a direct detriment to me, is what I'm saying, and it should still happen because it's wrong. There's no reason that this system should be this predatory, other than the fact that it's been allowed to be. Well, if I had my way, there'd be no interest at all on private. None. It would be outlawed completely. 10% cap.
The credit card
compromise at 10%.
They do need to make money somehow.
They don't need to exist at all. They didn't exist till the 80s. Most of them.
True.
Get them out of here.
Well, now this is a different conversation. So, do you not see the benefit of and convenience of credit cards, or is it something you're against?
I'm against it wholeheartedly. I'm against the entire idea of private credit. I'm against usury in all its forms. So I would get rid of even mortgages with interest rates.
A full cash system. Well,
I mean, the Muslims do it.
Well, the Japanese do as well. I live in a cash system here, and I don't mind it. Although credit cards have become
here's the argument they make. I can tell you what the argument is. Look at those markets. They're more stagnant. They don't grow like the American market does. But who's growing? I'm not growing. I'm not getting wealthier because I have credit card debt. Neither is most of the people who have it. No actual Americans are better off for it. Like you said, a lot of it's foreign money and foreign interest.
It is predatory.
So, yeah, the GDP might get bigger, but who gives a shit? The GDP bigger. What do I care about that number that doesn't affect my life at all? Is the price of gas? Is food cheaper? Those are the two numbers I care about. And yet somehow all we have to do, we always have to pretend that the stock market matters to the average American. It doesn't. They've disconnected it over the last 30 years entirely from Main Street. Wall Street and Main Street are two totally different branches of an economy in this country now. And we have to pretend that the GDP number is a big deal to the average American.
And they are
can be a metric by which you can say, okay, things are going the right way, but they aren't. Don't care. GDP went up 5%. It doesn't make me richer.
No.
It might make the country richer, but not me.
Yeah, well, it's like you remember the prediction I made that stock market, the Dow Jones, would hit 50,000 by the end of the year. I was wrong by a week.
Mm-hmm. They
So
slowed it down just for you, Chester.
I know the bastard. But no, that involves investors and high end stuff, which do matter.
Yeah.
I mean, they do matter. But for the average person, who gives a shit? That's fair.
Right.
Now, they do prey on the poor. There's so many people in America that are taking out just simply car loans, and they're paying like over $1,000 for a car loan. They can't afford that. I've seen rent been jacked up. I saw this one police cam. They were talking to this lady, and she was complaining about all the bullshit from her stupid son and his gangsta life, and the fact that, and she kept mentioning that she was paying $1,800 a month for a freaking hovel, dude.
Yep.
I'm like, are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
And that all of it stems from usury. You got me back to it, Chester, but it's true.
No, it is.
All of it stems from that parasitic practice. There's a reason every civilization that made sense banned it. All of them. There's a reason for it. It's because it always is a race to the bottom.
Would you like to guess?
It might be a benefit.
Yeah.
It's a race to the bottom.
For somebody, it is a benefit. But would you guys like to guess what my property tax is? And I own property here in Japan.
Me with it.
Yeah, Grimlock, give me a number. What do you think annually here in Japan?
I'd say you probably pay less than $2,000 US.
$2,000 US. What do you think, Thundero?
Well, are we talking about your whole property or just your house?
Just the Japanese property only. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe around there. That probably. I mean, because you got a lot of. You have like that whole island and everything.
No, not an island. It's just a valley. Yeah. $300.
Yeah, exactly. Chester, that's more than I pay on just my house every 6 months. By triple, by the way. Just my house. And I don't live in a rich neighborhood. I don't live in a bad neighborhood, but I don't live in a rich neighborhood either.
Yeah. But I mean, $300 isn't bad. I don't mind that. I don't sweat that at all. I like the French. I have a French property, right? And that one costs me thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Socialism.
Yeah. But it makes its money back on its own, so it doesn't really matter to me. But nevertheless, the property taxation and the increasing of home value, the artificial increasing of home value, is insane. The amount of money people are paying. I saw a person losing their. Well, they were doing this in Britain as well, but we pretty much sticking to America. But in some of these blue states, like say Pennsylvania, they were trying to jack the prices up that these farmers who own, farmers, right? So they have land, right? They got, a single farmer probably owns more land than everything I own, right? Most certainly. But they end up getting like $80,000, $100,000, $120,000 property tax bills. As if they're not burdened by enough bullshit, right? They're just trying to force them out. That's what they're trying to do.
Yep. I mean, fundamentally, income tax and property tax, there's a reason they were illegal in America up until, 100 years ago. Because they're fundamentally immoral. There's no moral argument you can make for them. Now, taxation itself is already a gray area. I think that sales tax, consumption taxes, things like that are perfectly fine morally. Because they're not parasitical, completely optional. You don't have to buy the super nice fancy. You don't have to.
No.
So there's a big difference between paying simply just to exist in a property that very often your family has owned for who knows how long.
Yeah. No, that's true. They do attack that. They've been doing it for a century. Now, Grimlock, you're like you're down in Florida now, right? Or Georgia?
No, I'm in good old South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, South Carolina. So what kind of how bad is it there?
Actually, the area I'm at is one of I think one of the higher uh, tax areas for property taxes, and even still, it's not horrifying. Like,
Hmm.
um, down here, if you have a car that's 20 years old or older, um, you're probably paying like $20 a year
Oh wow,
in
that's not bad
taxes.
at all. That's not bad at all. Yeah.
Every other year, like when they do the registration and crap, the renewal, you'll pay like 60.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Um,
Yeah, and I know
Newer
places like Florida
cars,
don't even have property tax. So
yeah, Florida does. Newer cars would be like if you have a brand new car, you're probably gonna pay at least 1,000, depending on what it is.
wow, that's so insane, dude. That's so insane. But then again, I
Well,
live in Japan. I can't
going
even
back,
talk
but
about it.
also going back to what you were saying about the loans for cars. Think about how bad it is to have a high ass interest rate on a car, especially when the average person still. I don't know why they don't know this at this point. That the moment you drive that car off the lot, you lose 33% of the value that you purchased that car
Yeah,
at.
or if not more. Yeah. No, you're right.
So so you're sitting there, you're paying a loan, and depending on how long the term of your loan is, by the time you get done paying that loan,
Hey, Booster.
you have spent more in interest than you have than your car has value.
Yeah. No, it's 100% true. Well, when I was in America, I usually leased. Now that's not a cheap way to go, but for me, it was just convenient because I wasn't responsible for anything, and every 2 years I get a new car. So, you know, that's kind of how I did it in America. Over here, they don't have that system, so I just buy it straight out. But I know that it is kind of weird. A lot of people in America wouldn't understand the concept, but Japanese people don't
Yeah.
lease cars; they buy them. Yeah. So you don't have the debt, of course. And here I am sitting at 55 years old, and I don't have any debt at all,
Nice.
none. And I'm going to keep it
Zero.
that way, zero. Yes. Now I have
Yeah, no.
expected
The
costs,
problem,
from taxes and stuff, but I don't have any debt.
yeah, the problem we have in America, especially, is we've gone from a capitalist system to a financialist system, and we shouldn't be doing that. That system is clearly predatory. It's designed to be predatory. The idea that you have to have these high interest rates and all these loans and all this stuff just to have things is completely ridiculous and obviously untrue. Just look around the world. Poorer countries than us have a standard of living similar enough that most people, like especially to American people, that they wouldn't even really notice the difference. This idea that you have to allow people to be parasites on them or else they won't ever have anything. Well, I mean, it sounds like something a parasite would say. So
Right, right.
it's
Well,
it's utter nonsense and it needs to end.
well, maybe you can explain to me why I see all of these welfare queens driving around in Cadillacs and Mercedes and BMWs, because I don't get that. That doesn't rub right.
Guaranteed money.
One, they're usually signing those things in other people's names.
Oh, okay.
That
Um, that's one way to game the system. That's one of the oldest tricks in the book, but
Yeah,
still works.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, I do see a lot of brothers riding around in scat packs, so that seems to be a popular car for them. I don't know where
yeah,
they get the money from it for it, but drugs, I
a
guess.
lot of it's not. A lot of it's not
you know
legal. Scat packs ain't cheap.
No,
I
that's
mean,
what 80, 100 grand, right?
well, probably is now. Now that they're out of production,
Oh, that
uh,
fair enough. Yeah,
but
yeah. Well,
it's
the thing that always gets me, Grimlock, is watching the chases because it's always a freaking, a Charger or Challenger or something like that,
oh yeah.
or a
Hey,
Corvette.
I've
They don't
I've
really. I know they got the GTA thing on their head, but they really can't drive very well. They don't understand that lots of horsepower when you get up on dirt roads, it becomes useless. Useless.
Mhm.
not even on dirt roads. I don't know if I think remember I told you I had a job cleaning parking lots, so I was driving late at night,
Yeah.
and I had two such incidents where both times it was a Charger and it was a young dude, and they caused like one of them like it was so close. He came so fast that by the time I actually heard the sound of the police car chasing him,
Yeah.
he had already like brushed by me, almost sideswiped me, swerved around my truck, and hit a Jeep in front of him.
Yeah.
And what made it even worse was that there was a tanker truck in the right lane,
Oh, geez.
and the truck and the momentum of the crash pulled the Charger and the Jeep towards the trucker, and the trucker had the wherewithal to get that big damn tanker out of the way
Yeah.
because that could have, because I don't know what he was carrying, but it could have been fiery.
It could have been. Yeah, that's true.
And then there was another one where um, me and my partner, he was coming right off one of the exits, and the Charger had to be doing 100 miles an hour,
Yeah. No.
minimum.
And the thing
But
that they don't.
15 seconds later, it had smacked Chester. If that kid didn't believe in God before, he became a believer that night because that car lost control, went into a Starbucks parking lot, knocked off the left front tire, the whole thing, and slammed
Wow.
into a light post.
Yeah. Yeah.
Engine
No.
was still running, and
Yeah.
by the time we got to the car, and I'm getting this was like only 20 seconds in between this happening, that kid had already took off and ran.
Of course. Of course.
So
Yeah.
but considering the condition of that car and that he was able to get out and run,
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
said, God was looking out for this little fool.
Sure, and they are built for safety as much as they can, of course. But the thing they don't understand, I mean, sure, it's cool. I'm not gonna. I think they're cool too. But those things, literally from Dodge, are set up for amateur drag racing on the weekend. Is what
Oh
they're
yeah,
for. And they go straight real fast. They do that,
oh yeah.
but they're not meant for that activity. They're not built for it. Now, the new Corvettes are insane, and they are
Not,
built for that
that's
shit.
different.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
different.
the 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 newer Chargers and Challengers. I can say this because I've driven the Charger. They're old school.
They are.
Like you said, they are straight line warriors.
Yep,
You
straight line
got you
warriors.
got you
That's the
got to
point.
you got to you got a quarter mile and a Scat Pack or a Hellcat. You got to fight on your hands.
Yeah,
But
and that's great. That's
um,
what they're built for.
they're
But
they're not cornerers.
no, they're not. But they
That's
drive them like they're a Civic or a Corvette, right?
yeah.
They're not built for that shit, dude. Not at
That's
all.
what I've been meaning to ask you because you're a Honda guy.
Yeah.
What is Japan's? How does the Japanese feel about that new Prelude?
No, we hate it. It's stupid.
So it's universal.
It is.
'Cause-
That should have been. Well, no, that should have been dropped in the $30,000 range, mid range,
yeah, that
right?
price is way too high.
It's insane. And I've actually had my well, it's not my Honda dealer, but his son is in my school, and he's been bugging me. He wants me to buy one. And I'm because he knows I'm searching. I'm going to buy a new car for my wife here very soon.
Yeah.
So he wants me to buy one, and I'm like, oh sure, because I was thinking about 30 grand for my wife's car, right around that in
Hmm.
that range, right? And I figured that's where it'd be. I used to own a Prelude back in the
Yeah.
90s.
A lot of people was excited that it was coming back.
Yeah, yeah. And then he dropped that price on me. I was like, "Fuck, dude, are you serious?"
Hmm. And
It's
it's not
insane.
even, and it's not even a better performer than that Civic.
No, it's not. It's not any.
I,
I'd
I,
say it probably is less than the ST, and it doesn't look very good either.
I could see if it was like, okay, we got something that's, gonna, you know, be big Civic ST's big brother or whatever. It's like, nope, it's worse, and you're paying more.
A lot more, yeah. I don't know. It's a misstep, but these companies make mistakes from time to time, and I think this is going to be that because everybody in Japan is laughing at it. So
Everybody
yeah,
here, everybody
yeah.
here was like excited, and then they're like 43,000. Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah, it's too much. Um, uh, but um, but yeah, and it doesn't even have the performance package that the ST has, which is cheaper, right? Because I have an ST, and I can corner that thing quite comfortably with minimal G at 150
Yeah,
miles an hour. You know that
damn.
ain't nothing, dude. That's pretty impressive. But the Prelude can't do that. It doesn't have that kind of suspension system built into it, the control system.
Mm.
So I don't know what the hell Honda's doing, dude. I don't know what they're doing. But it's a mistake. But then again, they took the Civic Gen 11, right, Generation 11,
Mm.
and they
Yeah,
kept the same underbody, so I'm sure it performs quite well. But they put a grandpa sedan body on it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
yeah.
And I kind of know what they're doing. It's just hard headedness, man. The Honda guys, the bosses, right? They've always been pissed at the Americans because when they put the Civic out, it was meant to be what now they have as the Fit, right? The Honda
Mm.
Fit. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be a little run around town thing, but those damn Americans took them and started dropping bigger engines in them or over tuning them and stuff like that and racing them. And they were like, "Oh,
Never, not Americans.
okay."
Shit, I'm gonna be honest. We didn't even start that. Chinese kids was doing that shit.
Oh no, the Americans started that. The Americans started
Because
that 100%. Now the
I
Chinese, Japanese,
when
and everybody else copied it, but no, the Americans started that with the Civic
well,
specifically.
I can only go by what when I was a kid, because like that was in the '90s.
Yeah, yeah.
That was like the big like Super Street and oh, what was the other like really? I'm trying to remember. What was the other big magazine where it was like all imports? It was all
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
hot Civics, and
And of course,
hell,
Fast and Furious didn't help.
they even had like body kits for like Toyota Tercels,
They
man.
did. Yeah, they did. They did. And it's fine. Some people will, kind of laugh at the tuner kids, but why? They're having fun. What the hell's
Yeah,
wrong with it?
it was a
Um,
whole culture.
but it is, and they're having fun. But the Honda guys were mad, and they were like, "Well, no, it's supposed to be a little cheap, economic town car." But of course, at the same time, the Japanese are forced to respond to the market. So they say, "All right, well, if they're putting all this stuff in it, well, then let's give it to them that way." But then they would take and tune it more and more and more, missing the point that what they were liking was the tuning. And then you get this freaking monster in the Gen 10 ST, right? That's how that became. But they don't like it.
Yep.
They want it to be a economic run around town car. I think this belligerence is just built into them over there is part of the problem. And the Prelude was supposed to be their sporty car, right? Outside of the NXT, right? So I think it's just belligerence. Some of the
That's
Japanese are hard headed. If you haven't noticed.
No,
but
not
yeah,
Japanese people.
but that's the fun part of it, because like if I get my hands on a Bonneville GXP, it's got a North Star in it. You know what I'm gonna do to that motherfucker?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to have the strongest goddamn North Star in the fucking South.
Sure, right. And it's because people are having fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's completely fine. And Toyota, when they brought back the Supra, when they originally relaunched it here some years back, they tried to be clever and says, all right, well, we've seen what they've done with the Civic, who's it's a direct competitor, right? And what the kids are doing is they're tuning it, and it's like, okay, so let's just give them a bare bones Supra for ridiculous amounts of money, and then offer, everything under the sun in option, right? Was their brilliant idea, and I get where they got to from that, but of course it just blew up right in their face, right?
Especially because the 86 is still there and it's a better deal.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, yeah. I guess we should probably
You want
change
to-
the conversation. I don't know how much the chat or Thunder are interested in cars because I can go
No,
all
I'm
day.
making my wife dinner, so you guys chat about cars all you want.
All right. But yeah, you're right. The Prelude thing is a very weird misstep from Honda, but it happens. It happens, right? And what
Yeah.
they'll have to do is go retool or they'll do something. But to be fair, with Toyota, Honda, and Nissan, Mazda, stuff like that, they're not suffering anywhere near as badly as the American companies are, though,
Yeah.
because
Well-
they've lost their damn mind with the shit they're
Yes.
doing, dude.
Well,
So-
a lot of that is not on them, though. A lot of that is our lovely government forcing
Some-
them to put bullshit in cars they didn't want to,
Sure, but I mean, tech that
making them way
doesn't
more
even work.
expensive than they need to be.
Yeah, but it doesn't even work, dude. Is the problem?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no, the problem is it's too expensive. Even if it works, people can't afford it. A lot of, I'm not exactly, doghouse poor or anything. I'm buying no $50,000 car just to drive around the town in. That ain't happening. If I'm going to buy something like that, I'm going to do something with it.
Oh no,
And most people just can't afford it.
if I were in the States, my wife would have a nice, modern, easy, safe car, and I would have.
She'd still be driving a Honda.
She probably would, but I would. I'd have a classic.
Seriously, like, because most new cars nowadays there's no personality. Like I said, the 86 is the only car right now that's brand new that I would buy if I had the money.
Yeah.
The only thing, and that goes across every car maker. Like the only American car that I would consider, and it kind of hurts my soul because I've never been a Ford guy, but the Mustang, because it's the only thing left that has a personality.
Mhm.
Everything else,
Yeah,
everything
that's
else
fair.
is gone.
The Corvette,
it-
dude. The new Corvette is pretty spectacular.
Well, it's pretty pricey, though.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I know everybody likes
Worth it.
the C8, especially in black, because it's the closest to owning a Batmobile as you'll
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
I like the C7 a little bit more.
I get
prefer
you,
the
but the
previous
C8, especially in the Z06 package, is so much speed, so much power that goes directly to the road. You don't spin
Yep.
out. Matter of fact, it
Ooh.
probably pisses people off that it is so controlled, because
Yep.
there's zero wildness to that car. It's an absolute. It's going to go down in history, dude. That package.
It's GM's shining moment as far as their engineering.
It is, dude. It's insane how tame that car is for 1,000 freaking horsepower, dude. And it just absolutely sticks to the road like glue, and there's zero spin out. It just goes like a freaking rocket. But yeah, it's a very impressive package, and you know what I found out? I can get a right-hand drive Corvette.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Well, I need to buy my
No,
wife a car first.
if I had the money, just buy a car like that, it'd probably be a Vet. If I couldn't find me my dream 1964 and a half cherry red Mustang convertible within a price range that's reasonable,
Yeah.
then I would get it.
Yeah. Well,
Because the
gonna be honest,
Mustang's not about the speed. The Mustang's just about because I think they're beautiful. Beautiful
they
engineering.
can be beautiful. Yeah.
the
I'd
best,
go with
the best
either
way to do that is get a barn find and build it that way yourself. Because
Sure. But me, I go with a
you're not looking to
67
spend
Pontiac or
112,000.
early 60s Thunderbird. with
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
spoke wheels.
My uncle, I don't know if he still has it actually. I haven't seen it. I haven't talked to him about it in a long time, but he used to have a 1970 Challenger that was completely mint. It had everything, even the tires were original. Kept in a climate controlled garage. When he last time I know that he had it appraised, he only bought it for 17 grand from some guy in Minnesota because he just needed to get rid of it. And it was worth $100,000 more than that the last time he had it appraised 20 years ago. Oh, that thing was beautiful. And then one day he actually drove it over to my parents' house, and my stupid brother-in-law hit it with a football.
Oh wow.
That was almost a fight. That was a fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean I think the 69 Dodge Charger was the General Lee one.
I believe
Yeah.
so, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, his is a 70 or 71 Challenger. I can't remember which one, but it's a beautiful car. Like
Yeah.
we used to be able to make beautiful machines in this country. I don't know when we all decided collectively to stop, but I wish we decided once again to do it, because there's a reason why even people, me and Grimlock's age, your age, and people younger than us in their 20s all want cars from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. There's a reason for that. And it's not
Yeah.
because they were just such amazing machines that performed so amazingly.
They're just
Cars
pretty.
perform better.
They're just
They're
pretty.
just beautiful.
I pulled up to Walmart last week. I was out running errands, and I pulled up to Walmart, and there was this young kid with his mom, and he was just grinning at my car ear to ear.
What are you
And
driving
it
now?
gave me- when I got, I'm still driving my Firebird, and
Fair enough.
but and I pulled up, and he
They
saw
like them, these kids.
because it still has a personality.
hmm
Like there's
Mhm.
not they don't have that anymore. Like most of these cars, it's like, here's a blob shaped SUV number one, and blob shaped SUV number two, and blob shaped SUV number three, but it's electric.
Yeah, well,
But
it's all about
Yes.
they make them those shapes because they're trying to get the fuel efficiency. What year
Yes.
Firebird are you running?
the O2, the last year of the breed.
Oh wow, so you got it before they
I'm
went
thinking
out,
about putting
huh?
that. Thinking about putting that shield on it. I could buy that little shield that says "Last of the Breed."
You should. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Dude, because I see a lot of people, because since you mentioned it, like I watch Jay Leno's Garage every now and then. I haven't watched the latest
I love
episode
Jay Leno's Garage. Yeah,
because our boy Fluffy, he went out and bought an '89 IROC.
I saw that. Yeah, dude, he is low
I'm
mile,
like,
under
how,
400 miles.
how? I'm like, dude.
Yeah, yeah. My brother actually had a Z28. Beat the hell out of a piece of crap, but still cool as
Uh,
shit. Just sitting
yeah,
there, looks like it's moving. Yeah, no, I like Pontiac, but I go with a
oh,
'67 Firebird.
I would too. I would even, and I know some people would say this is crazy. Even if I found one with the old inline six, I'd snatch it in a minute.
Yeah, but to be fine, yeah, those are kind of the you're not going to kill that engine.
Those are rare.
But yeah, no, the Firebird. Do you have it the one that's got the front scoops on it, or a flat
Yeah.
hood?
No, I got a Ram air hood. I
You do.
actually I
Yeah,
need
there
to.
you go.
I got some updates to do to it this year. Exhaust is one of them because the exhaust is rusted.
Do you have the dual port
Yeah,
RAM or oh you do? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's pretty, dude. It is pretty. And that was kind of nice when they came out with that because a lot of the sporty cars, Corvette at that time, were kind of ugly as shit, dude. It was really nice to see Pontiac come back with that nice old classic look, and it is a classic look.
I tell people I still have the Popular Mechanics magazine. The first year of that last run, the only three cars that could beat that thing in a drag race was a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, and a Corvette.
Yeah. 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 No, and it's beefy. It has nice sound. It has nice. It throws you back in the seat. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate we lost Pontiac, but I get why we did. But we've lost a lot of
No,
car companies in America. People don't
and
understand how
that's
many
some
we've lost.
more that's some more bullshit. Going back to what you guys are saying about you know things the government could have been doing. We paid our tax money went to bail out Chrysler and GM because the government told us they were too big to fail, and we
Yeah,
got nothing from that
no,
as taxpayers. We didn't
no,
get shit. We didn't even get a fucking rebate. We didn't even, nobody said, "Hey, get a rebate at your local GM," or how about an interest-free loan on a new car as a way of saying thank you for bailing our ass the fuck out.
right. No, no, of course not. Just like with the bankers. No, they just burn our money and do whatever the hell they want to with it. Which is why everyone is so eager for Trump to just end the income tax because they can't spend our money properly anyway, and the states
Yeah.
should be spending that money and taxing and specifically. This whole
Oh,
federal nonsense should not exist at all.
well, did Chester? I'm sure you've been keeping up. Have you seen that? As far as the no tax on tips and overtime,
Yeah,
out of the 50 states, there is only 8 states that have said automatically, yeah, we're just going with it.
yeah.
I
No,
happen to be in one of those 8 states. The fact that you still have 42 other states going, we don't know, or in the case of New York, because they have to be retarded, just flat out saying no.
well, and it's
Um,
weird too because this is only in regards to federal tax. It has nothing to do with state tax, right?
yes,
But it's just to be obstinate, is what they're
and
doing.
and and it's up to $12,500. I don't know too many
Yeah,
people who have made more than $12,500 in overtime,
it's
because if
not
you are,
unlimited.
holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
No,
I I don't I don't understand how you could be that spiteful to your constituents. It's like, no, we'll give you no relief.
No, well, the one, it's mainly TDS, and two,
Yeah.
the Democrats particularly, they live on taxes. That's who they are. It's all about the taxes for them, not only just what they get in their pocket, but also for their control. Because one thing that I think maybe Americans are starting to wake up to is the whole Democratic strategy is panic and fear,
Yeah.
right? That's how they operate.
Socialism.
And one of the greatest tools they have is overtaxation. They don't want you to feel comfortable. They don't want you to be like, yeah, life's good. That is a bad thing for them. And it's unfortunate that they've always kind of been like this, but it's gotten worse and worse decade after decade, to where we
Yeah.
are now that they're just full on fake socialists, right? They call themselves democratic socialists. I mean, what a freaking mix of words right
Mhm.
there. But yeah, it is what it is. Now, to get away from the car conversations, because Grimlock and I will go a long time on that. Um, I love cars, man. But what else we have going on in the world? Well, no one is talking about this at all. I've literally seen no mainstream media covering this at all. China is in such an uproar that there are riots in the street every day calling for the resignation of Xi Jinping, right?
Mm.
It's so out of control. They are sending the police into the streets, beating people. People are disappearing and dying, and the media is not covering it all. I would say it's worse than Tiananmen Square. It's just not at one place. But when you look countrywide, it's worse than Tiananmen Square. And I don't know if she will survive this. The CCP might. But it's really, really bad, and I see zero media coverage of it. Zero. It's like, and from what I understood, the lefties have kind of got to the point that they're kind of abandoning China and like, yeah, China bad, but yet they're not covering it. So I don't know. Is it just simply because they're all caught up in this Maduro thing and the Greenland thing and the Canada. I don't know. But with China is in full collapse, dude. So that's that. We still have some of the blowover from Nepal, Thailand, Cambodia. There's still that stuff going on, and once again, no one's talking about it.
We was
Um,
we was told that China is doing so much better than the United States. It's a better place to live. It's a better place to be.
how?
And the internet would never lie to me.
Are you serious that they're
No,
telling you this?
I'm being completely sarcastic. But
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of the well, a lot of the media is not going to cover anything that makes their narrative look bad. We know this now.
That's true. Well,
That
and of course, the BBC has been on a constant attack, and of course, most recently because they didn't even bother to cover Iran at all,
well, the
right?
BBC's going to be quiet because ever since that shit came out about one of the what was it the editors or the vice president admitted that they lied about Trump on January 6th. I think they should be very fucking quiet right about now.
And then they turned around and lied about J.D. Vance. So new
Yes.
lawsuit incoming. But yeah, the BBC is a train wreck. That is true. But I'm kind of wondering when the people of Britain and other places in the world, not just Britain, France as well, they've got to understand at this point that the government has decided that they want Muslims. They don't want the indigenous population. Why is it taking them so long to get it? Because that government
Well,
there is everything they're doing is pro-Muslim and anti-indigenous.
well, you have to remember this one important thing. Places like England, to a lesser extent France, and even Australia, these were people who voluntarily disarmed themselves under so they could virtue signal to the world how good of a people they were.
Mhm.
Yeah,
While
no,
the
I get it.
people while the people who they handed power over to had no intentions of doing right by the people, of serving the people. Because I will remind people, since this is the anniversary of January 6th. The reason why the people who are still pissed off at January 6th were pissed off in the first place was because these were public servants who have long forgotten their place.
Yeah,
And January 6th was discombobulated and disorganized as that nonsense was. It had one thing that hasn't happened in a long time. The plebs got in reaching distance of the ruling class, and it spooked them,
it
and
did
it
spook them.
pissed them off.
It did. That is
That's what
true.
they're mad about. There wasn't no fucking insurrection. We've seen actual insurrections.
Oh, that's
That
debunked. Yeah,
wasn't an insurrection.
yeah, it's debunked. No, they're just walking around
The plebs,
sightseeing. Yeah,
the plebs was in reaching distance. You could have reached out and choked your local senator, and that's what scared the shit out of them.
yeah, no, and
That's
I
what
get
this
that.
is.
I get that. Booster is talking about Hassan
And
Piker over here.
yes, well, that's you want to get me started. I might get to
He's
channel
not
you,
worth
but
any energy at all, dude. He's not. Um,
I'll just say there's no person in the world I would be happier to hear they died than him.
Yeah, no, he is an asshole, but he's
Yes.
irrelevant. But Hassan Booster, not only does he have TDS as the rest of them do, he has ADS. He cannot stop talking about Asmongold. He is so unhinged regarding Zach. And of course, all he's doing is giving Zach free content because Zach doesn't give a shit. That is the perfect example of a neckbeard incel. He's not an incel, but you
Uh,
know what I mean.
Well, no, I know why he hates Asmund. It's real easy. You can see this. It's kind of like the old Disney. He's kind of in a way like, and this is the nicest thing I'll say about the little faggot, is he's an old Disney villain.
You
How
talk
could
about
people
Hassan
like
or
as
Asmon?
no Hassan
Yeah,
is how could anybody like Asmund? He was a roach. He lived in squalor and was
still
happy.
does. Yeah,
It's it filth, and
yeah.
he comes from a affluence, even though now he's trying to pretend like he didn't. Oh, my first job, I made 60,000. Nigga, how many people make $60,000 at their first job? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
The
Do
average
we talk about
American's first
once again
job,
Hassan or Asman here?
Hassan,
Oh, he's a rich boy. Of course, he's a
because
rich boy.
yeah, but he tried as of late he's been trying to play like he came from modest
I
beginnings. It's like
see.
no,
Yeah.
like get the
No,
fuck
you're
out of
right.
here.
And
Your family
Asman,
was
yeah,
rich.
yeah,
You was a fucking anchor baby.
yeah,
Your parents flew here to give birth to you for the citizenship, flew your ass back, so you hate this fucking place. You're rich. People know that you're rich. You're fucking preaching uh the philosophy of a fucking born loser who's also a spoiled rich kid.
yeah. Well, for
Um,
a long time with Hassan, I thought it was just, rhetoric, just trying to make money out of it, right? But nah, I think
mm,
it's a little bit of true believer in there. One thing I will give Hassan is he's got himself in really good shape, and that's good. That's good.
Well, he's
it,
got lucky. He's got
it that
lucky genetics.
it's for looks. It's for looks. I guarantee you meet somebody who works for a living. Don't give that dude one firm handshake and break his fucking hand.
Oh no, no, I'm not saying he's strong or
It's
nothing. I'm
he's
just giving him
I know,
props for
but I'm
staying in
saying
shape, dude.
we used to have a term for guys like him. He's a fucking car show.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's like when you meet all the muscle bodybuilder guys. I mean, they look great, but
Oh
they're
yeah,
not powerful.
I used to do that when I was actually in shape. We used to some of the guys at the job. Um, we'd go to work. We'd go to work, and then we'd go to the gym afterwards. And I wasn't, you know, I didn't have abs. I didn't dress nice. I looked like a bum. And then I would go in there, and they're struggling, and I'm starting my bench at 225, and they're struggling, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Damn,
Yeah,
he's
no,
strong as
it's
That's what
not
I
shit."
told
about
you.
power. Yeah.
I told you that most American men, the vast majority, I think it's around 85%, can't bench 225. Even ones who are
Really?
supposedly in good shape. Yeah.
Oh, I told him right now I can't do it. My shoulder's fucked up.
I mean, even in peak health, they
Well, you
can't do it.
talk
But
about
They don't
young
have the
in peak health, right?
they don't
Yeah,
have the chest development to do it. They haven't worked it enough to do it.
right. I don't think 220 was when I was young, we had requirements in PE, right? I don't think it was 220 though. I think it was 150 or 180,
Mhm.
something like
But at
that.
that time, that was probably around what the average American male weighed.
I
Was
think you
around
had to do
150,
That's
because
true. Yeah,
they
that's true.
said your bench is supposed to be your minimum bench. I think is supposed to be 60% of your body weight.
Is it?
'Cause that's
Okay.
essentially a push up. So so whatever 60% of your body weight is, you should be able to at least bench that.
Right.
And a lot of people can't do that.
But another thing we used to do that they don't seem to do anymore. I mean, a lot of Americans do this because health has become quite a fashionable craze in America. But I know that we used to have to be required to do pull-ups and the rope climb, right? That was something we had to do, and of course, a pull-up is kind of equivalent to bench pressing in a way, right?
Yep.
hmm
So it pretty much every kid, every boy was required to pull his own weight.
Oh, we don't do
Um,
no rope climbs. I can tell you that right now. By the time I got to high school, they had stopped doing it.
oh no, we're definitely doing it. But it's good. You should be able to pull at least your own weight. You should be able to pull yourself up, right? Now I'm
Yeah.
a bigger guy, so my weight is just generally higher because of that. But I also have that Celtic backbone, so that helps. But
Well, I'll tell you a quick story because this will make the older kaiju feel good. One night we was in the gym after work, me and a friend of mine, and one of our coworkers came in, and he was about your age, around your age,
yeah,
older black guy, and he came in and was like, "Hey, Blue, how you doing?" And Blue goes over to the squat rack to deadlift, and this is what he started with, Chester. He
yeah,
started deadlifting 450 pounds.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. See, I
And
don't.
we just looked at him like, you know that feeling like you ain't done shit all day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just looked
Yeah.
at him like,
Yeah.
I've been in there for 2 hours, and I just looked at
Yeah.
this man and said, "Damn, I ain't did shit all day."
I don't. Yeah. No. I don't think. Back when I was doing that. Not now, of course, but I don't even think I ever pushed 400. Definitely not. I think it was under three something, which is not
Mhm.
bad. I was very proud of it.
Yeah.
But then again, I had a friend of mine who was a little bit taller than me. But I had a friend of mine. He was the Navy bench pressing champion, 633 pounds.
Yeah,
Dang.
which is monstrous. A monstrous amount of weight.
Oh, it's insane, dude. Yeah,
I don't even
That
understand how your
strength.
wrist doesn't just break.
Yeah.
That much weight. It's so
Yeah.
much weight.
It's so much, dude. But yeah, I don't even think I've ever pushed 400 on a bench. I don't think so. I don't think
No.
so. But I'm a
When I
much bigger
was
guy, so me pushing over 300 isn't as big a deal as you think it is, though.
when I was at my peak, the closest I got, I was about 285, 290 was my maximum. But I'm only 5'10". I'm not a a kaiju like you. I'm just a normal sized guy. But what's weird is I had an uncle this was the one who was the 2-time Vietnam vet. Same height as me, smaller shoes than me. I got bigger feet than him. Our hands are about the same size, but this man had the grip strength of a lion.
Yeah.
It was insane. He literally could shake any man, and even men bigger than him, shake their hand and get them to buckle because he could
Yeah.
squeeze it so hard. Like, it feel like your
Yeah.
bones were breaking. And then what he would do,
Yeah.
just because he was a troll, is he'd start moving your knuckles with his fingers.
Oh,
He'd
that
shake
shit
your
hurts.
hand, and it hurts
Mean.
so
Oh,
bad.
that's mean, dude. It's mean.
That shit hurts.
That shit hurts. But now, I mean, these days, I'd be happy if I pushed 250. I'd be happy with that.
Hey, that
Yeah, I
ain't
wouldn't mind
bad.
get back up to around 250. That'd be good.
Yeah. I know my son and my son-in-law are both sitting around that, maybe a little
That's
less.
pretty good for Asians. That Asian blood, that's not
It
bad.
is. It's not bad. Well, they're both bodybuilders. Go figure.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
good.
know why they got into that, but they both did.
So that's why they got wives.
That kaiju blood, that's why. You got that
Well,
kaiju blood in him.
Nah, well, and I did raise the boy as an athlete. But
Mhm.
the son-in-law, Ryo, he's actually very, very tall for a Japanese. I mean, I'd say
Yeah.
he's 6 foot, 6'1",
Hmm.
maybe. He's tall
Well, I
boy.
heard they're getting taller
They
in
are.
Japanese.
They are a better
Yeah.
diet. But he does love working out and stuff. And
But it's good.
yeah.
Got that Cro-Mag in him there, deep, coming out. It's in there deep still, Chester.
Yeah. Yeah, but he always because first time I saw him, he was in kind of a tighter shirt, and then after that, he was always in something baggy, and I noticed, and I asked my daughter, I was like, "Why is he doing that?" And he's like, she said, "He's intimidated." I was like, Jesus, I'm just a giant, I guess.
You're a
From
big
their point of
kaiju
view,
of a man,
I am.
Chester.
But I
Kaiju of a
like the
man.
kid, and they're married, by the way. January 1st,
Nice.
they got married.
Nice.
They filed the paperwork. So he is my son-in-law. And I
That's good.
told you, it is good. No, I knew it was going to happen. And of course, my son has a baby coming here in March, maybe April. So I'm going to be a grandpa. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Everybody wins. And
Everybody
Japan needs
wins.
them.
They do.
Grandpa the kaiju's gonna happen.
It is.
Grandpa Godzilla.
Yeah, that's true. And so that's so as far as for my family, it's all going well. I'm very happy about that. Of course, because that's the goal, right? That's the whole point of getting married and is to have babies in the long run, and then have grandchildren. I mean, it's kind of what you're after, right? So I'm all happy about that. Let's see. I was doing a geopolitical jump around the planet. The Middle East is, well, we talked about that with Iran. Syria is an absolute clusterfuck. Anybody surprised? Anybody? Hands?
Nope.
Hands.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Cutting the head off of Iran's going to help the Lebanese people a lot. because it would be nice to see Lebanon get back to what it was, and Iran too. Yemen, another thing no one's talking about, that's actually fallen into such a civil war that little teeny country is probably going to break into 5 pieces. Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Right? Somalia, train wreck. Sudan, train wreck. Ethiopia, train wreck. The entirety of the Sahel, train wreck. Congo and Rwanda are at least being kind of quiet. So,
And
that's something.
and this
Uh,
hemisphere is getting under control.
It
So
is.
it's a win for us
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
We're winning. The Western Hemisphere is winning. That other hemisphere, we're just going to call it the Lesser Hemisphere, is a mess. It's
Yeah.
a whole mess over there, Chester. We're cleaning up our shop over here. That's
We
what
are.
we're doing. Now, the problem will come is when Trump's no longer president, or if the Democrats get control of Congress again, which they might because the American people are retarded.
Oh, yeah.
Then all this is going to come to a screeching halt unless he just goes full Caesar and just does what he wants and ignores the Senate, basically.
Oh, I imagine after November, no matter what happens, he's going to go full ham, dude.
I hope so.
Yeah.
At this point, I hope so. I would love to see more Maduro-style raids on some of these dictators in Latin America, especially.
Cuba.
Yeah, get them out of here. We don't need them. If we can take them out that easy, get them out. What are we doing? There's no good
Colombia.
reason not to. We can put puppet governments, real ones, in place, and do what we need to do to control our hemisphere. Chester, I'm completely, and nobody can sit here and say, I thought you were against war. Nope, this has been my position forever. I have always said America should lock this hemisphere down hard.
Yeah, but it's not war
completely
anyway.
under our control.
What
No,
war?
it wouldn't
There
be.
is no war.
It'd be in and out. It's in and
yeah,
out. It's precision.
yeah. And that
which
was
is a perfect American imperialism. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
When you stop and think about what got the Brits in so much trouble is they tried to directly govern. They should have never done that. Their empire worked the best when they set up puppet governments effectively. That's when their empire worked the best.
I just want people to realize Trump went and got a dictator out of office, out of his home, in less time than it takes to make meatloaf.
Yep.
Yes. In and out.
Yep. Yep.
This nigga literally
perfect example.
Came
Perfect.
back and would have had a hot meal waiting for him because the loaf wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, no, it's great. You know what I'd really love to see? No one's talking about this because I don't think it's on the table. But I would love to see him take that freaking communist shithead out of Brazil.
Yeah. Bolsonaro?
Yeah.
No.
A lot of those men. Isn't it Bolsonaro?
No, he was the one that they put in jail. It's Lula or Luna or something. I don't remember, but it's. Are you talking about the El Presidente or the judge who actually runs that country? Their Supreme Court, because he's the one who really runs their country. He runs it like a little dictator. But no, Brazil needs to be brought to heel as well. They're too wealthy for us to allow them to be acting a fool in our hemisphere. And I don't care if people don't like hearing it. Do something about it if you don't want it to be America's hemisphere. You can't, so shut up and accept it. You are all vassals of America. You don't have to like it, but it's reality. Yeah. It's just reality. And every time you try to get out with your little bricks and your little bullshit, we're gonna bring down the boot. Yeah, it's that simple.
I love how you just disrespected the entire Latin community there by not knowing his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name. It doesn't matter. His name's irrelevant. It's El Presidente Dictator number 75 of the year.
No, it's El Presidente Luis Ignacio Lula de Silva.
Listen to this. Listen to this nonsense.
Yeah.
Nonsense words, Chester. Even the Spanish don't have names that nonsensical anymore. Stop it. Okay, well, stop it, you Latins. What are you doing?
It is what it is. But I would love to see that guy taken out. Honestly, you know what I'd love to see of Brazil? Give it back to Portugal. That's what I want.
They couldn't do worse.
Yeah.
Portugal's been quiet as fuck. They're just sitting there going like, please, somebody, don't bring this shit here.
Well, to be fair, they do have their own problems in regards to the silliness in Europe. They do have those problems.
I mean, they're stuck with the EU, but for the most part,
it's not as bad. Yeah, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is with Portugal, because they have had a population drop, you're seeing a lot of people move in, foreigners, legitimate foreigners, immigrating to Portugal and living there. It is a beautiful place, by the way.
Yep.
But yeah, no, Portugal is an interesting little conversation that no one is talking about because, well, the biggest news we've seen come out of there was the little kid that was kidnapped, right?
Yep.
It was a decade or more ago, maybe 20 years now. That was the only
Damn.
thing we don't hear about Portugal, right? But that whole thing of that family that was out across the way from the hotel in the lounge, let the kids in the apartment, and someone came in and stole the little girl.
So
Yeah.
I saw this on the Twitter machine the other day, and I think it's actually a good idea. Now, obviously, it's not going to happen. This is fanciful, but it would be great if it could. If Trump decided to keep toppling these douchebags in Latin America,
Yep.
the person he should put in charge is Bukele. That's who he should put in charge, and let him handle it. Let him clean them up. Let him handle all this business because one, he doesn't have to follow ridiculous American laws that are
True.
stupid, that only make predators more powerful.
True.
And two, he's completely loyal to the United States of America. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be?
Well,
So, yeah, I think that would be the move. Make him make him like the what's it called when they're not the emperor, but basically like the king of South America under our empire. He just controls it, he governs it, and he gives us money and gives us resources, and everybody wins. Everybody wins.
It's called a governor.
Yeah, we'll make him the governor of the whole continent.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I think. Who else you going to get to do it? You definitely don't want none of these American douchebags doing it. Maybe Marco, little Marco, maybe could handle it. But
Right.
Bukele's perfect because he's one of them. He's one of their peoples.
It is, and you basically make them a vassal state, which is what
Yep.
America. That is our style of imperialism. Although
Yes.
we tend to buy stuff, though,
I'm fine with it.
we tend
Buy
to
'em up.
buy stuff instead of take it. But no, I get it. He's giving Marco Rubio a little feather in his cap. And to be fair, I said this from day one when they came into office and he brought Rubio in. I was like, watch that guy. Watch that guy.
Yeah.
Because little Rubio ain't no little Rubio. That guy is a freaking beast, dude. And
him and old Hesketh.
Yeah.
Heseth. How you say his name? Hegseth.
Hegseth.
These two guys are exactly what we're looking for. JD Vance is maybe the best vice president I've ever seen. He's unbelievable.
So let me ask.
Yeah.
Rubio becomes JD's running mate in 2028. Do you see it happening or not?
I do. Yeah.
Either
JD
him or
and Rubio.
DeSantis. Him or DeSantis. It'd be one of those two. Most likely.
We need him in Florida, dude. He's doing a great
He's
job
done.
down there.
This is his last term as Florida governor. He has to step down.
Is it term limited? I see.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well.
No, he's a great governor. And I think he'd actually be a really good president, to be honest. But he's just kind of a dweeb, so it's kind of hard to get him to win a national election. Whereas JD Vance is not. He is everything
we need
you would want.
Though.
Yes, they're great governors, but they're not. This is why democracy is stupid, because it's a popularity contest. And if you don't happen to have Chad genetics, it's pretty hard to get elected. I mean, look back at all of our presidents. It's almost always the better looking one that wins. That's just reality of it.
One, usually. That's true.
Yeah. So that fucking retard Newsom got in.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is he is good looking and he can speak, which is all it takes apparently to win half the population.
But he is a slime ball, though.
He's scum.
Newsom is real bad, dude. He's a real bad example of it. Just coke fueled, socialist asshole. I mean, and he's not even a socialist. He just that allows him more power. I mean, Newsom is the perfect example of the socialist progressive shithead. Perfect example.
The other thing we're forgetting is a lot of his orbiters says Trump's going to find a way to run for a third term. Now, I don't know how he's going to do that because the Constitution says what it says.
No, it doesn't.
But
it says consecutive. He can do it because he had a break in between.
That'll be the argument they use, but it'll probably go to the Supreme Court whether he can or not.
Yeah, but I really don't think he should or he wants to.
He is 80.
What we need to turn it over to JD, and then watch the fireworks. Because I don't know about you guys, but I feel JD is far more hardcore than Trump.
He is. He is. He's me, Chester. I grew up the same as this guy, except he grew up in Southern Ohio. I grew up in Northern Ohio. In rural Ohio, poor with an addicted parent. That's exactly how I grew up as a kid. I understand J.D. Vance. I get him. I completely get it. I almost was him. The only reason I didn't go to the military is because my buddy I was going in with backed out on me. We stopped being friends that year. So I backed out. I was like, I don't want to do it now. That's the only reason I didn't. Or I would have been in the military and probably been over there in that bullshit. So I get J.D. Vance. I understand where J.D. Vance is coming from. I understand, his worldview. He has yet to flub. I have not seen him flub as vice president once. Before, yeah, he said some things that were stupid. But since he was selected by Trump, he has not made a single tactical error that I've seen. And I've been watching him because I don't trust. He's too good. I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. It's the same thing with old Marco. A lot of people don't trust old Marco Rubio because of who he was before Trump. But I said this the other night. A lot of these guys have never been around a genuine alpha male like Donald Trump. And I mean a real one. One who's they're just certain dudes who they walk into a room and it changes. And Trump's one of them. Whatever room he's in, the room changes when he walks in. No matter if he's in there with kings, no matter if he's in there with people with more money than him. I mean, look at Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, was kissing his ring. Yeah. There's a reason for that. And when you're around that for long enough, it's going to change you, right? And these guys, I think that's what happened with Marco. I think Marco's problem wasn't that he is wrong about things or that he doesn't have good ideas or anything. It was that he was a bit of a bitch. And Trump, I feel like Trump has helped him get that out of him.
Yeah.
Find the ability to be more confident and self-assured. And speaking to that end, when Trump made the announcement that he didn't want BlackRock and all these companies to buy houses anymore, in there, the most important line in that entire thing was when he wrote that people live in homes, not corporations. Now, why is that so important? Because when it gets litigated, they're going to go by line of his order and every statement he made on it, and they're going to have to make arguments about each individual part. Why can't these corporations buy these homes? What's your argument? If they're people, which according to the law, corporations are people, which is ridiculous, but that's what the law says. If that's the case, then why can't they buy these homes? Well, Trump just made a clear delineation as the executive that they are not. So now when it gets argued, and it's going to because everything he does gets argued,
sure,
in these courts, they're going to have to settle that once and for all. Are corporations legal entities equivalent to a person in the United States of America? I say no because what the fuck, but the law says otherwise. Yeah. Hopefully we can unravel that right there. He may have done it without just backdoored a way to unravel it. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. People like that are extremely rare, men or women, who they're just change. Things just change when they walk around, when they do things. And Trump's one of them. Whether you like what he changes or not, he brings change. And I think these guys get around somebody like that and it changes them. Like, look at Vance. Even Vance is, I think he's much more honest about who he really is, if I'm being honest, around Trump than he was beforehand. I think the same thing with Rubio. I don't know about old Pete. I think Pete's just a badass, and I think he needs to be the Secretary of War until he just doesn't want to be anymore. And look at RFK. Even a guy who has basically the complete opposite worldview to Trump politically, even he is doing unbelievably awesome stuff. Like just today, he announced that they're going to stop allowing SNAP cards to buy sugary drinks, to buy soda and other sugary processed foods. They're just going to make it so it won't let it do it. Awesome. That should have been the rule. What are we doing here?
And RFK has always been pushing for the health line, and it's non-political because we all can agree that we should try to help Americans be as healthy as possible. So Trump just let him go, dude. Right?
And you see what he did with the vaccines? He reduced the vaccine schedule from 72, I think it was, vaccinations for a young child down to 11, which is the standard for every other country in the world, pretty much.
Wow. Yeah, pharmaceutical companies don't like him. Booster just throw up a list of nicknames that Trump has for people. In particular, he wanted me to mention the Governor Newscum and the Slimy Newscum.
That's right.
He gets 2. Which is pretty impressive. But Sandy Cortez gets 3. She is Evita, the Mouse, and Stupid AOC. Fair enough. Crazy Nancy, Nervous Nancy. But
I love it.
but it doesn't matter. There's only one nickname that really, really matters, and that is Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is good. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
it was so
Nailed it.
perfect timing. It was hilarious. I laughed out loud. Okay, okay, Pocahontas. It was just perfect timing, dude. It was so brilliant.
What's amazing to me is how few people who supposedly care about that stuff are outraged at the fact that she quite literally did cultural and racial appropriation so she could get
Yeah, yeah,
benefit. And that's
yeah,
fine
yeah.
for some reason because she's a leftist, I
Well,
guess.
of course, because it's dumb anyway. We all
Yes.
share everything with each other. It is how humans function. There is no such thing as cultural appropriation. Quiet piggy. That's right, Booster. But I don't even think she was particularly fat, was she?
I don't
Um,
think he said Piggy. I thought he said Peggy, and it just sounded like Piggy.
Maybe.
But I
Who
could be
cares?
wrong.
Who cares?
But it's still
It's
funny,
Trump. Yeah.
regardless.
Um, but yeah, no, the whole cultural appropriation thing is really stupid because if you want to play that game, and unfortunately, it's usually black liberals that are want to play that game, or Karens playing that game for them, right?
Yeah.
White Karens. But if you want to play that game, you're going to lose real quick, real bad, right? For instance, we with the whole thing with the hair stuff, right? And I think what is it? Pennsylvania just passed the law you can't discriminate based on hair. Was
Yeah.
stupid as shit. But the thing is, if you really want to push that, then all right, stop wearing glasses. That's not yours. Stop culturally appropriating. All the technology you use, stop culturally appropriating. Get my
Uh-huh.
clothes off your back. You're culturally appropriating. Stop using
hmm
my language. You're culturally appropriating.
Start
Right?
clicking.
I mean,
Give me that language.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's that is a dumb tree to try to climb, buddy.
Yeah. You're cutting. You're literally. You think you're out here doing something, cutting the end of the branch. The problem is you're sitting on it.
Yeah,
So good luck,
idiot.
buddy.
Yeah. But then again, we've seen a lot of stupidity over the years. It's insane what has been labeled as racist, right?
hmm
Just the most innocuous, non-important things are racist now. Of course, they're not, but anything you can imagine has been labeled racism. Milk
Yep.
is
Yes.
racism. And I think the only reason it's really racist from their point of view is because it's white. I know, but that's the only
Well,
thing I can
it's
find on it.
because a huge preponderance of non-white people are lactose intolerant.
You know,
So
so don't
therefore, if you
drink
drink
milk.
milk, you're racist, which is retarded. What? So if you
Well,
get a sunburn, are you racist? I'm confused. How's this work? How's this
well,
work?
the whole milk and cheese and all yogurt and all that stuff, it is a white people's thing.
Yeah.
But as with everything, it has been shared all over the world because that's what we do, right? And not only
Mhm.
do we see things get shared, but they tend to go back and forth between each other, right? A good
Yep.
example being pizza, right? When the Italians came to America, they were making basically a casserole, right? But to try to sell to the workers during lunchtime, they came up with a flattened out calzone, right, and
Mhm.
called it the pizza, right? Now that's what the American immigrants, Italian immigrants, did, and it became very popular. Now it's spread all over the entire planet. Everyone eats pizza and knows what pizza is, and of course it's back in Italy, and they make it's predominantly only this kind of pizza. The casserole type I don't see being used at all. And they've got not only has it gone back to Italy, it's gone back to the point that they demand that we're the people who made the first pizza, which is like, okay then. But I'm just saying, things bounce around all the time, dude. They go back and forth, back and forth. It isn't just one directional; it's multi-directional, and that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
the world would be worse without pizza. I mean,
Yep.
So I
I
hate that
wholeheartedly
argument.
agree.
Yeah. I hate that argument. That cultural appropriation thing is so dumb. It's just so dumb. But of course, we know that the movie cycle is still caught in the wokeness because it takes years to make a movie, right? So it's going to take a couple of years for that. We're potentially out of that cycle,
Yeah.
if we even ever are. Let's be
Well,
fair.
it'll always be around to some level, especially in the big, like Disney will never let it go because Disney's been doing it for 40. They've been doing it my whole life. People forget. They were just far more subtle with it back in
Yeah.
the day, but they've been promoting nonsense for a very very long time. One of the things that they promote, and really the broader culture, especially back then, promote all the time was divorce. One of the reasons why the
Oh yeah.
divorce rates were so high is because every other movie was about a divorced family.
Oh,
And
they're
divorce,
never
divorce, divorce, divorce. It's
never
never
together.
ending.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
of course, you
it's
can't have a
preposterous.
white person with a white person in a movie anymore,
No,
right?
no, not allowed.
Right.
That's not allowed. That's some sort of racism. You did a
Yeah,
racism.
you did a racism. But
It's silliness,
yeah.
but it's intentional. And Disney's been one of the ones on that train for a very, very long time. And but what we're starting to see, if you look at the marriage rates, is it's not working
Well, no,
because
the
the
young
divorce
people
rates
are
are going
getting
down,
married and having lots of babies, and which is a good
and they
thing.
stay in that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Stay in.
Well, we still need time for that demographic to really flesh itself out. But I
Yeah.
get your point 100%. And the reason they do this, if you're curious, is because Marxism has existed in Hollywood from day one. Day one, right? And it actually is a kind of a leftover from the Europeans' movie industries, right? Because keep in mind, they were France and Germany dominated movies, right? It was the war that gave the Americans the opportunity to take over the way they did. But
Right.
Marxism has been in there from day one. McCarthy was right,
Yep.
100%, right?
We
And
didn't go far enough.
Marxism, well, we didn't, but one of the biggest number one things of Marxism is you must destroy the family. You must destroy
Hmm.
it, right? And of
Yep.
course, this is coming from a childish fucking Bernie Sanders whore that just lived on people's couches, right? That's who Karl Marx was. Piece of shit. But that's the guiding principle. You must destroy the family because everyone must be indebted and under the control of the government. That's the whole
All
point.
natural human hierarchy is evil.
Yes,
Is the fundamental
that's
tenet
right.
of Marxism. It's wrong. It should not be permitted, and you must control it because if you don't, and the reason why, which there is a logic here, but it's evil. If you don't, then you will always have inequality because well, the part they won't say, but the reality is some people are better than others.
Yeah,
And because of that, they're
yeah,
gonna do more. They're gonna be
and they're
better. They're
going to
gonna
help
achieve
their
more.
family first, as all
Yes.
humans do. Nepotism we throw around as a dirty word. No, it's not. It is
Yep.
normal human brain, normal human activity. But of course, that's why they do that. And they've been pushing divorce because they don't want people together. They want them under the government control. They want them under welfare. This situation is out of control, not because of negligence or just, extreme incompetence. It's intentional. It's
Yes.
intentional. This blow up and extremity within the welfare system is 100% intentional. It's not an accident. This corruption that's going on, we see in Minnesota and we know is happening everywhere else, is not an accident. It is not just silly little government leaders who were afraid to say anything against a minority because racism. That's not the truth. This
Right.
is intentional. Intentional because it is their modus operandi. It is how they function. And it's overall and just extremely disgusting. And the downfall of Hollywood is a wonderful thing, and I hope it ends in total completion.
Well, the AIs are definitely going to help with that. They're driving it.
Yeah,
They're
but that's going
driving
to
it
bring its
hard.
own problems.
Of course, it already is. Look at what's happening with Grok because you can. Did you see this? You can tell Grok to put anybody in a bikini and it'll just do it.
Sweet.
Yeah, and of course, all of a sudden, Chester, I don't know. You've been around longer than me. Haven't you your whole life heard that bikinis are not sexual? that there's nothing inappropriate about a bikini, that it's just fine, it's beachwear, it's not a big deal. I've heard these arguments my whole life
Yeah.
from every feminist in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fine. But now all of a sudden it's a problem because somebody can type it in a computer and then make it's not even actually you. It's an approximation of what you would look like. It's a guess.
Right.
It's a guesswork.
How,
They can do it instantly. But for some reason, this is a big problem, even though you could already have done that with Photoshop anyway. Anybody could do it at any point. In fact, you could just pay an artist to be like, hey, give them a picture of a girl, make her in a bikini, and an artist could do it. So I don't understand why suddenly this is a big deal. But apparently Britain's trying to ban X on those grounds. We all know what the real reason is,
Of
but they're
course.
trying to ban it on those grounds.
so you said, I don't even know. I've never even looked at this thing, Grok, before, but here I am. So Bernie Sanders bikini. Okay.
Oh no! And now he's done it. You've done it. This is not good. It might not make an image. It might just tell you about what you've said. Oh nope! It made an image.
Yeah,
It made an image.
I am 18 or older. Yes. Yay!
Oh no!
Yay!
Nightmare fuel.
Yay! Yay!
We're supposed to be deeply offended because some women got offended that people did this to them. And I'm like, ladies, listen, I know you. I know what you've been doing. You've been walking around these beaches in less than what that Grok gate you've put you in. Stop it. Stop it with this pearl clutching bullshit. You've been doing it since you was probably 15 or 16 years old. Stop it. Knock it off.
This could be fun. Now it says I can do edits. Can I say
Yep.
red bikini? Because
Probably.
you know, I've never used Grok.
AI
before.
AI is pretty cool. It is pretty cool.
It says no, go to hell. All right. Let's see. Who else needs to be in the bikini? Let's see here. I know.
Ban this technology immediately. Booster.
Okay. It's not working.
What were you trying to do?
I think
Did
I
you
just
change
have
it?
to start from the top here.
Start from the
Will
beginning. But the thing is you can
Smith.
literally on Twitter you can just you can @ Grok and tell it to do things, and it's integrated right into the interface. So it'll just do it for you right there. And of course they've decided this is harassment. Now there is an argument that they're doing it to minors or whatever, having pictures of. But my argument is, why is a minor posting their picture on the internet? Like, what are we doing? That shouldn't be. I'm pretty sure that shouldn't be allowed. I personally don't think that should be allowed at all. I don't think anybody under 18 should ever have their image put on the internet. Period.
It says it's
without
under
it being
heavy
edited.
use right now, so I can't use it.
You broke it.
But I did. But you said I can. So here it is. It's right here. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be successful.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
Okay.
Here he goes, folks.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Ah, yay! Why are they always black bikinis? And give me some yellow. You got to put a little bit of color on that boy.
Oh Lord!
Yay!
Oh Lordy!
This could be fun. Would you like me to create some imagery for you, Grimlock?
Oh gosh!
No, this is already horrifying as it is.
It is.
It's already nightmare fuel. We will have nightmares now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
But that's what they're complaining about. That's their we'll call it their casus belli for why the Grok must now be banned, or AX must now be banned in
leave that right
Britain and all over the place because somebody might jokingly tell it to put a woman in a bikini. How dare you? How dare you put her in clothing that she's going to wear herself anyway? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but
what are we doing?
You were mentioned something with kids earlier and the concern, but it's like, ooh,
your favorite car.
Yeah. But you were mentioning with the kid thing earlier, and it's like, why would you put a kid in a bikini though? What's
Well,
the
because
point?
weirdos are sickos. But the truth of the matter is, they're going to be
Yeah,
sickos
but
anyway.
they
You
they
can't
got
neuter the technology for it. That's
they don't
silly.
they don't got any tits for a bikini.
Well, they're talking about like underage, like 15, 16, 17-year-old girls.
Oh, well,
But
they probably do have breasts actually.
yeah,
But
and they probably wear bikinis. But
yeah, but we'll
regardless,
stick with Bernie Sanders and Will
you
Smith. And we'll stick with
you can't censor the technology just because somebody might misuse it. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. That leads to nothing. Eventually, I mean, you're
Oh,
going to
well, we know
neuter
what
it
happens.
entirely.
Let me see
Yeah.
here. So no, Mustang bikini. Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. What have you done, Booster? Booster, what have you done?
Okay. Oh, that was clever. That was clever. I see what you're doing. You got a girl in a bikini with the Mustang, and you got a girl that has a bikini that has a Mustang on it. All right, I got you. I had to be more specific. Okay.
Oh no, that one on the right there, that looks like a very, very particular video. That's all I'm going to say. I don't like the way that horse and that girl are looking at the camera. I don't like it, Chester. It's unnatural.
It's Black Beauty. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to leave you guys to talk about Grok. I need some coffee. I'll be back in a minute.
This guy,
Okay?
every time he
Okay.
does this to us, every time, Grimlock, he just abandons us with this horrible imagery. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love what AI can do. I love what it's capable of. I think people need to quit pearl clutching over this technology that makes our life so much easier. We don't even understand yet how much easier it's going to make life. It's crazy.
AI is giving me something I wanted from a little kid. Kit is a very real possibility now.
Yep.
I have seen. I might post a video. There's a company that has a Knight Rider replica,
Mm-hmm.
but the way they have the AI set up, you can ask Kit, "Hey Kit, tell me what you see." It'll scan, and he'll tell you what's in front of him, what's to the sides of him, what's behind him. That is fucking awesome as fuck.
And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better from here. I don't think it's going to be as disruptive of a force as a lot of the people are predicting, because you notice a lot of the people who are making those predictions are people who already have vested interest in it being true, like Elon Musk, for instance. So I'm not saying it's not going to be. Of course it's going to be. It's going to be a disruptive force, but all new technology that changes things it's not going to be. I don't think. I think they're basically making it to be it'll be a catastrophe, and it's not. I think what we're going to end up happening is it's mostly just going to be used for entertainment, and then back end programming that nobody actually wants to do anyway. The AIs will just do all that shit, and that'll just be it. And I really don't think it's going to be this end of the world situation.
We already had an AI song top the charts, one of the charts.
Yep.
It's already
Which is
here.
fine. Did you see? I posted the video. There's this guy, he makes little AI anime, but he uses licensed. I mean, I'm sure he's not licensing them, but he uses real properties. Like he made one. Apparently, he's making one for the Power Rangers now. He made one with Spider-Man. I think Chester and I even looked at it. We did, and they're unbelievably good. And he just makes them in AI. He's not drawing it. He's not doing any of that. He just makes it in AI. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see more and more of that, to the point eventually what you're going to have is, I called this. A lot of people wondered what the next, like something like a media device was going to be, right? Because we had, you had your 8 tracks, you had your tapes, you had your CDs, you had your DVDs, and what have you. And we really haven't had anything like that because everything went digital into the files, into the MP3s and whatever. I think the next one is going to be some form of either DLL or some other packet that you just buy. You pay whatever from whoever. It's encrypted. You pump it into the AI after you've bought it. It'll unencrypt it, and then it'll just make whatever it is that it's supposed to have been. as far as entertainment goes. And I think that's how it's going to go.
Be the next big thing.
Yeah, that's how I think that's going to be one of the next big waves. Is they're going to have the ability to sell you your own person. You can personalize and customize it, of course, entertainment in a certain genre, and you can already do it to some degree with some of these AIs, but it just takes a lot of work, and you have to really know what you're doing as far as like what to tell it what to do and how to do this. And then one of the things like Chester and I have been telling a lot of our people we know who are artists, it's like if you know the terminology, so does the computer.
Oh,
you can
watching
do really cool shit with that.
Watching all the artsy fartsy types bitching about AI, I'm just gonna say it. It makes my nipples hard. Because for a lot of them, yeah, this is the end of the road for a lot of you. And the thing is, for the ones that it's going to be the end of the road, you had 10 years to get your shit together.
Yep.
The people that I'm talking about, these are the people who they didn't finish their work, wouldn't finish their work on time.
Yep.
You know, piss poor communication with their customers.
Ethan Van Sciver.
Bad attitudes towards their customers.
Yep.
Taking on commissions before they finished other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes just taking the money and running. The localizers, who took all the liberties from the Japanese companies because the Japanese companies wasn't breathing over their shoulders to make sure every line was accurate in what they wrote. All of those people, you could break out the Boys to Men because this is the end of the road. And you had 10 years, and we told you that AI was coming. We told you 10 years ago that this was going to be a thing. And 10 years ago, you told us go fuck ourselves.
Right.
10 years ago, you was telling everybody else learn the code. Well, guess what? Ironically, you motherfuckers are going to have to learn the code.
What's
That
crazy?
hasn't been lost on me.
You don't even have to code. You just have to prompt. Just make sure you word things the way you want them, and fight with it a little bit, knock it about a bit, and then eventually you'll get pretty much what you're looking for. And I think the people who now, I in Hollywood's already started to do it. They're just pretending they're not. They're going to have to back end. The people who do that stuff will be very highly paid. They'll be much more highly paid probably than writers were, probably much more highly paid than even VFX guys were, because it's gonna be a skill set that's gonna need such precision, and it'll be so valuable. I genuinely think you're seeing a whole new form of career being formed in real time, and that is the prompter. Somebody who can do AI prompts, who knows exactly how to speak to the AI to get exactly what it wants out of it. It's a skill. It takes time, and not everybody's going to sit and learn it. In fact, most people won't. Right. And then you're going to have a few people who are just wizards. They speak the language of the machine. Like you know how there's people out there who are just mechanical. They can just tear shit apart, put it back together like it's nothing. Same thing's going to happen here.
I'm curious. If I put Casus Belli in, what happens?
Let's see.
Well,
and yes, I'm a nerd. Deal with
it. Here's the funniest argument that I've heard from all the artsy fartsy types. Oh, AI is just taking stuff from around the internet. It's literal theft. I'm like, I remember there was a guy 25 years ago who said taking somebody else's work and putting it on the internet for free was theft. And you know what you told him? Go fuck yourself, Lars. So now I should have been printing shirts. I should have had a shirt ready for 2026 that says Lars Ulrich was right. All you art faggots, because he was right. He was right then.
He was right. I just put in Casus Belli in a bikini.
Oh God.
It's confused. I was too clever for it.
You outsmarted the machine.
I did.
She looks very angry. That first one.
Well, Casus Belli, right?
Yeah.
What is the modern term for that? I'm curious.
I don't remember.
Just red
Just,
flag
I guess
maybe,
you could
or a
say
false flag
just,
event maybe? False flag,
you
I
could say
guess.
justification. Let's see.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we would say false flag event these days would be the term for Casus Belli. The what was the cause for the war? But it's
Right.
used in a very sarcastic manner.
Could say provocation. A
Provocation.
provocation.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm going to stick with Casus Belli because it sounds cooler.
It's good. It's a good
Yeah.
Latin term.
Yeah. You know what though? I have failed to. I asked chat to tell me they didn't care, but I did fail to ask how your New Year's was, Thundero.
My New Year's was just fine. You know what I
What?
did? I stayed at home with the wife and watched some stuff, and then she went to bed, and then I was up. That was it. We almost went over. My buddy apparently got a new house in the city he lives in, about a half hour from here.
Uh huh.
And well, I say new. It's an old Victorian. Um, because it's a college town, and they have a whole bunch of these big, beautiful old Victorian houses down
Oh,
there.
what college?
Yeah. Bowling Green State University, Bowling Green,
Oh,
Ohio.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a nice house from what I understand. We were gonna go hang out there, but the wife didn't want to. She just wanted to relax. So we just relaxed. We just hung out. And yeah, that was pretty much it. That was my big New Year's celebration. I sat in this same chair I'm in right now. That's what I did.
Oh, nice. So I didn't have that. I enjoy those holidays though, where I sit and do nothing. Those are kind of nice. I don't get many of those, but I didn't have that this year. What about you, Grimlock? What did you do for New Year's?
I do what I do every New Year's. I watched Twilight Zone marathon.
Oh, nice. That's good. Yeah.
I just enjoy
I
enjoy
have.
the classic.
I've never done that. I should do that. That definitely sounds like something that should be done.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially because I was telling the guys I think a couple days ago how great some of those performances was
Oh,
on
yeah.
just a TV show,
Yeah.
not even
It's so good.
a movie. Like I was telling them about the episode 2 with Charles Bronson and Elizabeth Montgomery.
Hmm.
Great performances. They spoke like maybe 3 or 4 lines of dialogue the whole episode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Now that old Twilight Zone, man, that was really good show, dude. And it was
Yeah.
interesting too, and because the way their premise, that allowed them to dip their toe into many genre.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a great idea. It was a good show. Rod Sterling, that was the guy's name, right?
Sterling.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So you guys just stayed home. I didn't do any of
mhm.
that. I put myself through lots of travel. I went to
Well,
many cities
you
and
had
many places. Yeah.
you had new additions to the family. That's understandable.
I did, and stuff in Japan. Of course, I traveled over to Malta as well. I had because I told you my wife kind of decided to do a thing.
Mm.
And we sold that, but I wanted to keep a property there, so I bought another little cheap walk up, right? And I hired the same company to renovate it for us, and they sent me pictures, of course, but it's different in person. So it's nice. It's got a little park garage on the ground floor. It's a little storage. Walk up, 2 bedrooms, living room, dining together, bathroom, of course. It was nice. They did a good
Mm.
job with it. It was a very comfortable, little teeny thing. It's not grand at all. It's just a little teeny walk up. But it's nice though. I enjoyed it. Beautiful view. There's actually I don't know, I guess you call it a veranda or a balcony. It's very narrow, but you could definitely get a couple of chairs in there and just
That's
look
a
out over the ocean. Very nice, dude.
that's got to be comforting as fuck that you can have somebody renovate a home while you're in a whole nother country and just trust that they get the shit done.
Well, they did it before. I've hired them before.
Mm.
So,
I'm saying that's a comforting feeling.
yeah, I think you could do it anywhere in the world, dude. Pretty much. Because keep in mind, when you get away from politics and theocracy and all the stupidity of stuff, and you get down to people, they are just people. And there are carpenters and electricians and plumbers, et cetera, in every country on the planet, right? And
Mm.
they're just people
Yep.
doing a job. and, you know, but it was, I enjoyed that. But actually, my interesting moment on because I did a lot. I was really busy this year. I don't like it, but it is what it is. But the most interesting thing is I went to a meeting, and this had nothing to do with me. This is my wife's business, and they had bought an older used ship. We're talking gigantic cargo ships, right? They had bought a large ship from the third largest shipping company on earth, which just happens to be based in America, of course. And They were introducing it to all the big shipping companies of Nagasaki, which there are many. And So they had a meeting, and I just went along as guest with my wife because she thought they were bringing their spouses, but they didn't. But anyway, so here I am with all of these big bosses of these giant, shipping companies, and two Norwegians and an American, a high end dude. Which I enjoyed that guy a lot. He sails as well, so we had a lot of conversations. Anyway, so I go to this business meeting slash dinner, and it's at the most exclusive Michelin sushi shop in Nagasaki, right?
Yeah.
You can't even get in it, right? It's like literally you got to put a reservation like a year and a half ahead of time or something like that.
God dang.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those type of places. But the good thing about it, because some of those places I end up having getting stuck in, and it's the type of place where it's just you can never be comfortable, right?
Mm.
It's too highfalutin. You can't be comfortable. This wasn't like that. This
Oh,
was very relaxed. Although everyone's in suit and tie, of course. But I'm just sitting there, and I'm the guest. And I'm talking to the Kaicho, who is the boss of bosses, right?
hmm
And I'm
mm,
just kind of be quietly talking to him, let them do their thing. And he's a nice guy. I enjoy talking to him. Old dude. But I started getting into conversation, talking with people, laughing and joking. I'm really good. My Japanese is absolutely superior when it comes to drunk salarymen, right? I
mm.
dominate the room, but I tried not to because I'm just a guess. It wasn't my business, one. And two, they had a translator. Now, my wife was in the room, therefore, the best translator you're going to get, right? She's, of course,
Yeah.
Japanese, and her English is very, very good. Her English is better than my Japanese, right?
Mm.
Especially when you get into the more precise business language and stuff like that, right? So she's the best translator in the room, but she's a woman, right?
Uh-oh.
So you have that factor. But they had an official translator because they had some big highfalutin foreigners in, right? And
Mhm.
So you had this guy, but oh, dude, he was struggling. He was struggling hard. So I tried to help a little bit, but I didn't want to help. I don't know if you don't Americans don't think like this, but in Japan, for me to kind of overstep him is an
Mm.
extreme shame for him.
There's a no.
Yeah. So I all night was trying to balance it, but out not business, just joking around. Obviously, I'm the best translator in the room, right? My wife
Yeah.
is, but she's not going to be me, right? So they're all
hmm
asking
Yeah.
me questions and just chatting, and everyone's laughing, and it was great. It was a fun time. But they're also asking me questions for the foreigners and the foreigners, vice versa. And oh, it was
Mhm.
such a it was such a tight spot, dude. I mean, how do I deal with that, right? It was fun. I did have a good time, but it was also rough. Um, yeah, it was that was a hard bit of balance for me. But the interesting thing is, because I don't drink, you guys know I'm not a drinker. But when I go to an
Yeah.
event, and of course, 99.9% of the time is with Japanese. They drink, and I'll drink at the event, and it's easy to drink with Japanese because the Asians can't drink worth shit, right? They're very
Mhm.
soft, lushy on that end, so it's good for me, right?
Mhm.
They brought a couple of freaking Norwegians with them, dude. Damn, dude. And
A
and a,
Viking entourage.
holy shit, dude. But the Japanese went off to do their little snack thing, and I took the foreigners back to because we were staying at the Marriott. Very, very fancy Marriott, dude. I stayed in a freaking million Marriotts in my life because as a musician, when they put you up in a hotel, it's usually like a Marriott. But for me, a Marriott is, unless something has changed, Marriott was kind of like Holiday Inn. It's like your normal hotel, right? It's not cheap like Hotel 6 or Motel 6 or something like that, but it's just your standard Marriott. This thing was pushing on the frickin' Ritz, dude. I mean, what the hell? Did something change? Is the Marriott fancy now? What happened?
Some of them are.
This one was
Okay.
real try hard, and it was good too, dude. It was real nice hotel. I was impressed. But anyway, I took him back to the bar, which is way too expensive. I should have went to another bar. And I ended up drinking with the American guy. Dipped out early. He's old though. And I was sat there drinking with the Norwegians all night. Shit, dude. Challenge accepted. Those guys can drink, man. They can drink. And we kept sharing our different cocktails of our culture with each other. So that was wonderful. Although I don't know if you, like I said, I'm not really a drinker, but have you guys ever had amaretto? It's an
Yes.
Italian liquor. Dude, that's
Yep.
awesome. That is awesome.
It is good. It is considered a social liquor.
That's what my wife actually likes. She drinks amaretto sours.
It's
That's her
delicious.
favorite.
Well, we were just drinking them straight, but then he got
Yeah.
because I was translating, right? And
Mhm.
they didn't want to because it was late, but I forced them to give me vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
And they
And
didn't want to tell the kaiju no. So
that's
they're like,
right.
all right,
Well,
give
I
him his
was
ice
quite
cream.
I was drunk, so I was quite insistent. But anyway,
Pay his tribute.
that's right. And but I gave this Norwegian all the ingredients he want, and he went behind the bar and didn't even ask, and made up this amaretto like a mudslide. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
mudslide. Oh, dude, that was banging good, dude. That was really
Oh yeah.
good. I've never had amaretto before. That shit is really good. It's kind
It,
of sweet, like a sweet whiskey, or maybe
yeah.
more
It's
like a sweet bourbon.
Yep.
it's not as high in volume as most hard liquors because it's a social. It's meant for those kind of atmospheres.
Yeah.
But because of it being having that sweet taste, it's one of those alcohols that if you have one too many, it sneaks up on you.
Oh no, that's most alcohols, yeah. But I did tell them to go fuck themselves on several occasions, because uh, one of my favorite cocktails. I know you guys are gonna laugh at me, but my favorite cocktail is a grasshopper, and
Never had it.
I get it ordered in triple. I triple order it, which is an expensive way to drink, because the way they shake it, it becomes a mint shake, right?
Hmm.
When you do it in triple instead of a single order. And that's my favorite cocktail. And they were giving me shit for it. You pussy Americans, fuck yourselves. This is awesome. And then one guy tried it, was like, it was pretty tasty. The other guy refused it. I had COVID 7 times. I can't taste shit. I said, well, that's your problem.
I am.
Um, It was fun. It was a lot of cussing and swearing at each other all night with a bunch of Norwegians laughing our ass off. It was great. I enjoyed I had really had fun. I haven't drank like that with foreigners in decades, dude. It's been a long time, and I loved it. And we had a good old time, and I walked away and drank a lot of water back in the room, of course, and crashed out. Woke up the next morning feeling wonderful. Yeah. But that was my New Year's. And even though I tried to kind of corner around and not, you know, impede the translator any more than I had to, at the end of it, the Kaicho asked me if I'd go to Tokyo with them and be their official translator in Tokyo, and he was willing to compensate me a lot. And I was like, dude, I'm busy,
Too busy.
too busy.
Plus, you don't want to go to Tokyo because
No,
Tokyo
fuck
is
Tokyo.
expensive.
Well,
Yeah.
no, honestly, if I went to Tokyo, I would have ended up in Michelin places, and it would have been good.
And you might have found your girlfriend again, and that's a bad idea.
What are you doing? Shut up. Dude, that girl's dangerous, man. I don't know what
Not
it
over
is,
there.
Grimlock.
You're allowed, Chester. It's allowed. It's permitted.
No. I don't give a shit what their rule is. I'm not Japanese. I'm an American. But no, dude. I mean, I see lots of pretty girls all the time. Don't blink. Don't care.
Yep.
Right? I don't know what it was about that girl, but that girl, dangerous. Dangerous, Grimlock. I'm telling you.
The eyes.
Yeah.
It was the eyes. You're right.
Yeah. I know what happens. It's the eyes sometimes.
She's looking up at me, and she's got that little pixie haircut, and she's smiling and happy, and she just has that glimmer in her eyes, and it was like, oh fuck, dude. Yeah. I was a good boy though, Grimlock. I resisted the urge. I did. But that was the toughest one I've had to deal with in a long time. That girl was mega cute, dude. Anyway, and then I went and relaxed in Malta and did nothing and brought no communications with me whatsoever. It was wonderful. That's my news. And I've never drank with Scandinavians before. Damn. Well, I have with the Dutch,
one off
but
the list.
dude, Norwegians can drink. And these guys are professionals. They travel around the world making deals. So they drink all the time. It's part of their job, right?
Yep.
You know, but I hang with them. I represented America. America. Yeah, it was good. But the best thing of it was finding amaretto. I'm going to have to get a bottle of that and try to experiment and figure out how to use it. Because that shit's awesome. I've heard of it before, but I thought it was like Mexican or something. Or like, Tex-Mex is what I thought it was. I didn't know it was Italian. But that is badass. If you guys drink it all in the chat, try amaretto. It is good. How do you said something about amaretto sour is what your wife likes, Thundero.
Yeah.
How is that? That's weird because
I don't drink. But she drinks. You'd have to ask her what it is. I have no idea. That's just what she orders. I know what her order is.
With orange juice.
Ah, maybe.
What's in it? Hang on, let me ask.
How do you drink amaretto, Grimlock?
I usually, because I it's one of the few. It's such a pleasant taste. So you can drink it plain. I drink it with orange juice.
You can drink it plain, easy. Yeah.
Apparently, there's a it's with sweet and sour mix in it. You put it's just got a blend to it, and then that's how she likes it. A little bit bitterness.
Yeah. Honestly, I did love that like kind of amaretto mudslide they made. It was delicious. But honestly, that's the kind of thing I just drink on the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's it's sweet, but it's not like in your face like a peach tree or a schnapps, which can be real super sweet. It is sweet, and it has none of the harshness of the whiskeys. Although it must fall into that category, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a whiskey. It's a bourbon, a whiskey, something to that effect.
Well, the bourbons are American. That's only American is bourbon, right? And bourbon by law is required to be 51% corn mash. Whiskey is the category word, and Scotch is just made in Scotland. Of course, the interesting difference between Scotland and bourbon in America is that in Scotland they insist on using old barrels, but in America with a bourbon you must use a new barrel by law. By the way, for it to be categorized
according
as
to
bourbon.
the internet, it is a liqueur.
So it is
whiskey.
liquor. Okay. Yeah. Right. So it's not a whiskey. But it makes sense because it has sweetness to it. But it's a very pleasing sweetness though.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an annoying one. Like I say, I remember when I was a kid and we would drink bottles of Peachtree. I don't know why we did that. We're just stupid. But yeah, no, I like amaretto, dude. I'm going to remember that.
We'll seek.
Do you drink indeed drink Colt 45 out of paper bag, Grimlock?
Back in high school, yes, I did actually.
Yeah,
they exist for a reason.
I've actually tried Colt 45. It's not horrible. I prefer Michelob
Well,
though.
see, no, see, I'm gonna tell you why. See, back in the day, you could get a double deuce of Colt 45 for $1.
Oh, well, there it
And one
is.
of my friends, he had more facial hair than me, so he could pass. So what we would do is we cut class and we go to the local groceries, the local bodega. Fuck you, chic. And we fucking, get a couple of dollars and have him go in there and be like, "Well, Pando, you're the only one that fast go in there, man. And get a couple double deuces and,
Yeah, but
split them with the,
what is this in Brooklyn, Queens?
yeah. No, in
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
dude, they never check anything. You could be a 12-year-old walking and get
Oh, no,
alcohol.
they would, no, they would check. They would check. There
Would
was a
they?
lot of times where it didn't work. Yeah.
Where were you in? Where was it? Brooklyn?
hmm
Whereabouts? Were you up like in the Jewish section of Flatbush, or where were you?
we was in the Jewish section, believe it or
That's
not. We was
why.
on
Yeah, no, that's why.
okay, so you know where FDR High School is.
Yeah, yeah,
So go down the block, you're on 18th Avenue,
yeah.
and there's a park right there behind the campus. They had a park, but across the street, a little local corner store, bodega, whatever. So when we be on our bullshit, the gang get together, be like, all right, we're cutting seventh period.
Right.
Hey, hey, Mando, here we got a couple of dollars. You know what to do.
Yeah. Go get some Colt 45s. Yeah. It's just dirt cheap. If you just walked up a Brooklyn Heights, you would have been able to get it no matter what, dude.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. The place is busted up. I imagine it must be better now than it was when I was a kid, because that's freaking late 70s, early 80s, right?
Because I couldn't, but see, I couldn't do it in my neighborhood because like all the local stores knew my parents.
Yeah.
So because it was back in the day. Now this is old New York. I don't know if they still do this. You could go in a local store and actually have like a little credit account, and be like, hey, my mom and dad wants some boar's head and some cheese and some bread, and I'll pay you on Friday.
Yeah, yeah,
And
sure.
you could do
Yeah,
that.
the bodegas will like that for sure. The delis as well.
Yep.
It's community thing. Yeah, that's city life, right? But I remember when I was in the village, because I was in it's a old warehouse they converted into basically bunk beds for musicians, and so you have a lot of people kind of paying rent in this big giant open place. But I remember because I was pretty, like I said, I've always been like that. I drink at events. I never drink on my own, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much that's the same thing with everything for me. But I remember there's this black dude from the Bronx. I think his name was Bradley,
Mhm.
maybe. But he used to come in all the time, shady as shit, right? Coming all the time, selling all those yuppies cocaine, man.
Mm.
He must have made a bank over there, though, dude.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was just funny because if you don't live in New York, you don't understand what I'm saying. Having someone from another borough go into another borough, continuously is kind of
Mhm.
weird. But having Bradley from the Bronx being up in the village constantly selling cocaine is a bit weird. But
Yeah.
he did, and old Bradley, I think he made a pretty penny out of it. But
Uh,
yeah,
and another thing you will like about Amaretto
I mentioned
is
that because he loved Colt 45 in a paper bag as well.
because you like your coffee,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
the Wops love their coffee. That liquor is made for a coffee.
dude, that would go perfectly in a coffee. It would. Huh.
And
No,
it's
you're
made in.
right. Well, it's the same reason why the Irish, have that. Of course, you call it Irish coffee, but it's just them, ginning up their coffees. But yeah, no, I've just never, I've never had amaretto before. I don't even remember because I told you guys before I was like an emergency bartender, which means I'm a
Yeah.
shit bartender, but in a pinch, right? but I don't
Yeah.
remember even ever seeing it. You know, but maybe it's not it's not a strip club drink. You would think it would be though. But whatever. Anyway, I found something new, and in the opportunities I have in the future, I will try to experiment with it because
Mhm.
depending on my schedule and what I'm doing, I will, will be in a drinking situation. I'd say half a dozen times a year, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
It is what it is, and like I said, normally I'm dealing with Japanese, and that's easy work because they can't drink at all. Um, it's weird they love drinking, but boy, they are lightweights, dude. Serious lightweights. I was actually proud of myself hanging with those Norwegians, and I didn't make a fool of myself. I was witty the whole time. I was impressed. I thought for sure they were going to drink me on their table.
They decided to take it easy on the old
They
man.
might have. They might have. They might have. But we were having a good old time though. We got along instantly, right?
Well, they're
Uh,
your people, Chester. Of course you did.
that's true. But it was a lot of fun because they're just I didn't realize the Norwegians are such ball busters like Americans,
Oh yeah.
right? Because we especially men we lay into each other hard, right? And
Yeah.
it's fun. We're laughing and having a good old time. They're just like us, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I say it all the time, Chester. My ideal society looks an awful lot like the barbershop from Gran Torino. You walk in, you're getting shit on. You're getting hit. Don't come in there if you're not ready to get shit on. And
Yeah.
then walk out and everybody's cool.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
all it's
just
all good.
just having fun, dude.
Yeah.
It's not serious, but there was one guy who was kind of little. He's not little, but from me and the other guy's point of view, he's short. And I kept giving him hell for it. He's like, "Hey, you just think I haven't heard that before?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. Well, you're hearing it again."
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun. But anyway, that was my New Year's. It was. I enjoyed it. I had a good time actually. And normally in those situations, it's more business. It's you have no choice. But I actually had a good time, and I had a great time with the Japanese too. They were laughing. I had them laughing hard, dude. Right. And I felt real bad because that short Norwegian, which he's not short, but the shorter more Norwegian, he he goaded the translator who was doing a shit job. Let's be fair. But he goaded the translator into drinking. There was half a bottle of whiskey on the table, and he said you should drink all of that. And then, of course, he didn't. He wouldn't. But then the Japanese banker kept goading him hard in Japanese, right? And so he picked it up and he drank the whole thing. I said, "You're out your freaking mind, dude." And I just started chiding the banker and giving him all kind of shit. And I got all the shachos, all the bosses in with me, pointing fingers at him in a funny way. But it was hilarious. It was hilarious. But that guy, I don't know where he ended up. But you don't, Japanese does not drink a half bottle of whiskey and walk away. That ain't happening. I mean, goodness gracious, dude. And that's straight up standard whiskey too, not anything watered down or some liqueur. That was straight up bottle of Suntory whiskey, and it was half a bottle, so that's half a fifth, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Why not?
Well, maybe when I was younger, but I mean, because that's just too much at one moment, right? You can do it over time. I've certainly sat and drank a fifth of alcohol over a night, sure, but in one shot, one guzzle, nah, dude, stupid. Would you do that?
Mm.
No, hell no. Anyway, I do have some stuff to get to, so let me get to it. I shall.
Let's get to it, Bugbear. Let's do it. Let's do
let,
it.
let me do one more grok thing. There's one more thing here. Ford Mustang in a bikini. Okay. See what we get. It's not going to give me what I want, I think. No, that's very similar. What is it? Why is it girls? Guess that's what Grok does is girls. I don't know. The one on the right's pretty though. This one, no, not so much. But yeah. Anyway, here we go. Thundero. Did I lose everybody?
No, I'm here. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm
you
looking
can
at
read it.
something.
You go ahead and read it, Grimlock.
All right, give me 1 second. What are we reading? Black Mirror renewed on Netflix confirms. It should say confirmed by Charlie Booker.
Or confirms, Charlie Brooker. They just don't like
Yeah.
punctuation.
God damn, son.
Yeah, now I put this in here for one very specific reason. I hate Black Mirror. And the reason I do is very simple. There's no hope. I don't like hopeless things. Same reason I stopped watching The Walking Dead pretty early on. There's no hope. I don't like that. I don't enjoy that. That's not entertaining to me. But here, season 7 of Black Mirror is coming. They don't do one every year, I guess, because it's been going on longer than 7 years. And they say they're going back to the old school, which is just even more horrible from my point of view. But I thought I'd
Mhm.
ask the chat and you guys the simple question: do you like Black Mirror?
Never seen it.
I've never. Yeah.
Okay. It's an anthology series. Like I said, they're coming into season 7 here. But it's hopelessness. There's no chance for victory, and it's not even the point. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone in a way. But it's done in such a dark and pessimistic feel. There's no hopelessness. There's no victory on the back end. There never will be. It's just bad, weird, sometimes supernatural stuff happening to people, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it. And I don't like that. What about you guys?
No, I don't either. I don't particularly like. I don't understand the point of a story. Why we tell stories so we can learn. What are we learning here? Nihilism, hopelessness,
It is kind of nihilistic.
bitterness.
Yeah, it is.
I think society as a whole has moved away from that. We did a lot of that. We had a lot of that kind of storytelling where everything was just kind of bleak. And I think
Yeah.
one of the reasons why, like, I don't know if we're going to talk about it or not, but one of the reasons why the Stranger Things finale kind of flopped is because it just was really bleak. It wasn't. It's not even that it wasn't a happy ending. It was just. It just was, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like there wasn't any aspiration. There wasn't any cheerfulness about it. It just. I don't know. It was boring. It was dull. It was drab and bleak. And it's like, why? Why would you do that?
Right.
Why
And
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you at least try to make it if you're not going to make it a full-on happy ending? Okay, fine. But give me something. Give me
yeah,
some light here at the end of this tunnel.
yeah, I don't like it. I don't like nihilism
Yeah,
either. But Stranger Things had more trouble though,
yeah,
because it's full of plot holes. It's poorly written, and it's stuck in that formula where okay, the group sits down. They're all planning how they're going to do this next thing. Then they reaffirm each other how much they love each other and how much they're a family. And then every single scene is exactly like that.
pretty
Them
much. Yeah.
having group conversations about what their plan is and then how much they love each other and how great each other are, and then the action scene or the scene, right? Over and
Mhm.
over and over and over. And this is not how you do storytelling. I think, from what I've heard, the main reason that they kind of got stuck in this, they painted themselves in a corner, is all of those actors in the cast, which there are a lot of them, have a clause in their contract that they must get equal time and billing, right? And that's why it works out like that. You get the easiest way for the writers, the director, to deal with it is just to have all of them in a room together, and
Right.
this is how it goes. Now, there is a big controversy that came out of it, which I'm not surprised, nor do I give a shit. But would you like to cover the big controversy that came out of Stranger Things season 5?
Of
I don't know.
Will being gay.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. That's how little I cared.
Yeah,
I
don't
remember. I
care either.
forgot about it.
And it's like,
Um,
well, hasn't he
yeah.
always been?
First of all, yeah, I don't think that was even a twist. I thought he
Yeah.
was, and I don't even. I stopped watching that. I watched the first season. I liked it. It was fine. And I watched the second season, and then I was like, okay, we're starting to get off the rails here.
Yeah.
So I wasn't surprised at all. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm surprised it took them that long. In fact,
Yeah.
to make that a thing.
Well, the fact that they took such a chunk of time to deal with it when they were literally in the middle of a life or death choice is
Yes.
stupid as well. But Stranger Things is woke. It's been woke since day one. The only character I don't really give a shit, but the only character I thought I don't really get is the little lesbian girl.
Mhm.
Because that girl is something real bad unhealthy going on with her.
I'm going to hurt you.
Mhm.
Really
down.
unhealthy. She's skeletal. I'm sure she's a Hollywood vegan, but boy, she looks unhealthy, dude. Very sickly. So I didn't like that because that's not you shouldn't be putting that in front of little girls.
Well, here's the thing they sold the show on. It was supposed to be big 80s nostalgia, right?
Which it
Like
wasn't.
Goonies situation. Exactly. It never was.
Mhm.
And two, how are you going to have I believe it was in Pennsylvania, Midwestern town. Midwestern town in Pennsylvania, small town, and I didn't see a single person that was Christian. Not a single person went to church in the 80s. Not a single person talked about church. Nobody mentioned God.
Yeah.
Nobody?
Yeah.
Not a one
Yeah.
in this town? They found the only atheist town in Pennsylvania in 1984 or whatever the year was.
No, that's ridiculous.
What are we talking about?
That's ridiculous.
What are we doing?
And also all the little 80s nostalgia stuff that they kept saying, oh, this looks so 80s. This is a perfect representation. Dude, it's not even close. I am literally from the 80s. I am the age of those characters are supposed to be. Right?
Right.
So no, that's a failure.
The funny thing is, you had a whole show that was kind of sort of based around D&D, right? And in a way, that was the idea.
Yeah, definitely.
And they never did anything with the Satanic Panic, basing it in the 80s. That's retarded. What are you doing? You just that's just it's so stupid. It's so dumb. There was so many missed opportunities with that show because it did do a pretty cool we'll call it not assimilation, what's the word? Facsimilation of an 80s child spooky show, right? Or spooky movie where weird things are happening. It did a decent enough job of it that people liked it, and I even liked it. But then it completely lost itself in trying to be something it wasn't. They clearly never had an actual plan for it. They probably only intended to do one season or one or two, and then that was it. And it just went way deeper than it was intended to. But how are you gonna? There were so many things about it that just weren't even close to culturally accurate in the 1980s. Like it's just ridiculous.
Did it? Okay.
I can tell you right now that I grew up in the 90s, and I don't remember meeting two gay kids like they had in this show. There was two different gay kids in this show. I don't remember that.
They weren't. It was if you went to certain places, you might, but no, it was more quiet. But then again, no one cared. But yeah, it wouldn't have been. I don't recall that anyway. But I think this girl here. Yeah, go ahead, Grimlock.
To me, is what's funny about that shit. It's how it's always the same in every show. Like I don't watch Stranger Things, but I've seen there's tons of videos about it. How they went on this long, overly drawn out scene of him announcing that he's gay.
They did right in the middle of absolute panic chaos situation.
Yeah, in the middle of chaos. You know, you got shit happening all around you. Your town looked like it's about to burst into flames. Perfect time to announce that you like sucking.
Yeah,
dick.
It's dumb. And I think it's. Go ahead.
But that's not the part that even kills it. It's that every time that they do this, it's everybody rallies around and embraces him, and it's this delusion, and it's going to sound mean. This delusion of, oh, everybody's just going to love it and embrace it. Look, here's the truth, and most gay people know this, but you're letting the worst of you represent you.
Yeah.
You're an abnormality. You always will be an abnormality, and it's fine. It's it's just like being born, with Down syndrome. Nobody should pick on you for being born with Down syndrome. Nobody should pick on you for being born gay.
No,
But
no,
this
no one,
idea,
no
this
one really
idea
hates.
that everybody's just gonna stop and embrace you, and oh my God, you're so brave, and most
Yeah,
people don't give a
it
fuck. It's
was a
like,
silly.
because I remember when one of my friends in high school came out, and we're like, yeah, we kind of already knew, but are you gonna make it weird?
Yeah, they
I
didn't. They didn't. Yeah, you know. That's true. Yeah, no one made it weird at all. But it just wasn't like it is now. No one cared. No one talked about it. It
Yeah.
wasn't a point of conversation. But what I really want to talk about is what is this Miley Brown Jones girl? What's her
Millie
name?
Bobby Brown.
Oh Jesus! She literally is triple B. Holy cow! Anyway, how ugly is that girl?
She's pretty ugly, yeah.
Harsh. Now this is not the current season. This is but before, but I saw that scene he's talking about, and she looks worse than this. That is a manly looking girl, dude.
Yep.
I mean, it's not her fault. Here she's trying to girl herself up a little bit, but that's an unattractive woman, dude. She's married though.
She is. She
Hey,
got married at a very young age. Very young
doing
age,
something.
which,
You're doing something right.
Yeah, she might be a nice person to talk to or fun. I don't know her character. But it's this show doesn't do anything to help her out, man. I tell you what. Because season one, I remember season one, she was, well, she wasn't meant to be cute, but she was fine. But she just didn't age well. It's just the way when you get young actors, they don't age up because a lot of these kids these days are not very handsome, boy. But
No.
we're going to get them forever. We got the next so many decades, so just know that. Anyway,
yeah.
Black Mirror. I don't know what the chat thinks, but I just hate the premise. I hate this dour, pessimistic, nihilistic, nasty, storytelling. I don't like it at all. But it is what it is. So let me move on to something that Thundero will take over. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. Drew McIntyre wins undisputed WWE Championship on SmackDown. I didn't even know that. I haven't watched wrestling really in over a year. Which is good though. It's about damn time. It's only 2 years late. He should have been undisputed
Yeah, but
champion a long time ago.
it's on SmackDown, so that means it will be short lived.
Probably.
I think that's because they was doing a tour in Glasgow.
Oh, were
Yeah.
they? Okay.
Yeah, so he'll
Yeah.
probably have it lost either by WrestleMania or he'll lose it at WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is in a few months. But hey, you know what? Drew deserves it. He honestly deserves to be a top champion for a very, very long time. I'll never quite understand why he isn't, because I mean the dude has every tool you could want. He's an absolute tank of a man. He's a beast. He's like 6'5", 6'6", probably almost
Oh,
300
wow.
pounds if he's not anything.
Dude,
Like he's a big guy.
I don't
He's a big
even
boy.
I don't think he's juicing either.
No, I don't think he is either. I
That
think
doesn't look like a juice body. That's
he's
just
just a
dude.
freak.
Yeah.
He's just a freak. He's a Highland freak, big Scotsman.
Oh yeah.
And he's always had the structure too. He said once he got fired, because he got fired from WWE a long time ago,
Yeah.
like over a decade ago, he locked in. He's like, all right, I'll show you. And he got himself him and Sheamus are really good friends in real life. And they both he called up Sheamus like, listen, I need to get in the best shape of my life. And then him and Sheamus helped him get, and he was always he was fine, but Sheamus helped him get that into
Yeah.
this monster. And yeah, I don't think he juices either. I think he looks very natural. He doesn't
He
have the
does.
ridiculous
That's well.
vascularity and all that
Look at the
stuff.
biceps. You can tell.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
natural. But Cody Rhodes lost it to him.
yep.
Cody held that for 159 days. That's pretty long, actually.
Since SummerSlam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, that's cool. He won it. Apparently, it was in Germany. That's what it said up there, up in Berlin. So they were in Europe, and they
Yeah.
like, here you go. We'll give it to the European guy. But
Why
it was a
not?
3 stages of hell match. I think that's only the second or third one they've ever done of that. So that's actually kind of cool. I don't know what stipulations they had, but basically, 3 stages of hell is there's 3 different matches in a row with varying degrees of stipulation. Usually, the last one is nastier.
Right.
So like it'll start as a regular match, then a cage match, then like a last man standing or whatever, right? Or a Hell in a Cell match, stuff like that. So I don't know. The problem is I didn't watch it. I probably will go watch it. I don't know if they did, but if nobody bled in that, you kind of wasted your most brutal match stipulation for nothing.
Right.
I don't know if that's what happened, but I know both of them will. They both don't have any problem gibbing themselves. So they may have. I hope they did. They had a really long rivalry for a very long time. Him and Cody did, even to the point where they did the old Cody showed up at his house in Glasgow and they fought at his house and that whole
Really?
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reminds me of Macho
yeah.
Man and Elizabeth. but
No,
but
I
yeah,
like Drew. Drew's a good dude.
and it might also just be the fact that that's a long run. Maybe Cody needs a bit of sabbatical.
He might. Plus, they're also going to be, like I said, they're coming into WrestleMania season.
Sure.
They probably want Cody Rhodes in the Royal Rumble. I doubt they'll have him win it again, but they're going to have him in it, I'm sure. So having Drew be champion going into the Rumble and into the Elimination Chamber is probably a good thing for what they want to do. So they'll have Cody on a chase, which is always better than walking in as champion for business, right? Have your baby faces the one chasing the belt.
Sure. Yeah.
Look
There
at
we
him.
go.
Look at that absolute unit of a man. That's outrageous. The genetics. Outrageous.
Yeah.
And there's
Big
people out
dude.
there who believe in equality. What are we talking about? Look at that guy.
Goodness gracious. Now this girl right here and this girl are juicing. They're
No, come on.
100% Joseph. That's full on juicing right there. Well, it's one of the big problems in WWE, right? And I don't know all the legalities. I know they've had trouble, but it's not like with an actual sport, right? I'm not sure. I know they've had trouble. But
Yep.
we lose a lot of wrestlers to juicing, dude. A lot.
Oh yeah.
So,
Makes your heart blows your heart up.
it does. And it's a shame. Yeah, I don't see any cutting going on here at all, dude.
Yeah, that's a shame. Hopefully there was, and I'm wrong. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. But hopefully there was, and I'm wrong. Because it's just there's a reason that wrestling became so sterile for so long, and one of the things was that they didn't bleed. How am I supposed to, especially growing up watching the shit I watched, how am I supposed to believe these guys really want to tear each other apart when there's no blood? Like, what are we doing? That's silly.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
Well,
a combat.
that was a policy for a while. It's been going on for a while, and it's good for Drew too because no whether you like Cody or not, this is a professional. And this guy knows how to help you out in the ring. He's
Yes.
going to make you look good. He's really good at that. His brother also was really good at that. And of course, my favorite, Dolph Ziggler, is the best at selling you, right?
Yes.
But Cody is real good at that.
Absolutely. No, I'm happy for him. It's good. We need more. We need more Drew McIntyre as champion. I think it's a good. Hopefully it's not just an interim situation where he's here just to hand it off to somebody at WrestleMania, like happened to him last time. Hopefully he gets to hang on to it for a little while.
Huh.
Looks good on him.
So John's
Seen
done.
his last match. He's
Yeah.
done. He's out. December 13th. He is out. He was out. He
Yeah.
lost. He tapped out. In fact, Chester, they had him tap out to old Gunther. Old Mr. Never Give Up. His last match, he tapped out.
Well, Gunther's another good guy to help with the ring generalship, right? Ring management. He is really good at that, Gunther. It's probably his most valuable asset for WWE, I think. John, I'm not going to say he's horrible at it, but he's not as good at controlling the match, I feel,
Right.
as some of these, like say Cody. He's not as good as that. He is good at shining himself. But
Yes.
I don't know. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always felt that John was a little weak on that side. That
John
side
is
of
a
things.
fantastic. This is why he's doing fine in Hollywood. He's a fantastic showman
Yeah,
when it comes
yeah,
to
yeah.
talking, when it comes to the presentation, doing all that stuff. And there maybe not have been anybody better but Hogan. But when it comes to in the ring, he's I wouldn't even say he's mid. I think he's the worst top guy they've ever had, wrestling wise, ability wise. Hogan was phenomenal. I don't care what anybody says. Hogan gets shit on a lot because he didn't do a bunch of flippy doos and stuff, but he could. If you watch his Japanese matches, that dude could actually wrestle, like wrestle.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
doing, he
no.
was throwing arm bars and everything else. Like he actually could do it. He just didn't need to, which is
No.
the point. You don't have to do stuff you don't need to do. If you can get that crowd on its feet by pointing a finger at a dude, then point a finger at a dude. What are you doing? Like you don't got to
That's
kill
right.
yourself.
Yeah, no, it's 100%
People did not
true.
understand how Hogan was the greatest in-ring psychologist probably ever to do it.
Yep.
This man was 6'8", 325 pounds, and he was able to convince a packed house night after night that a dude half his size could whoop his ass unless the crowd helped him bulk up.
That's right.
That, my
Yeah,
friends,
it
He
is.
needed the
great.
crowd. He needed your help.
He needs your help, which is important, right? I mean, that's a big deal, right? But yeah, no, Hogan was a great showman. Although you talk about pissing people off in the ring, I don't know who's the best at the psychology of literally pissing the opponent off. Not being. I'm not talking about kayfabe. I mean legitimately. Andre could piss people off.
Yeah, he just
He
did what
was
he
real
wanted.
good at that.
And what were you going to do
Especially
about
if
it?
he had a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right? Abdullah pissed a lot of people off, but for
Oh
different
yeah,
reasons.
that damn fork. No, there was a lot. There was a lot of guys who had that ability to press a button and just piss the other people off. Randy's one of them. Randy can get under people's skin, and he's another one who, as he's gotten older, he's learned to be an amazing psychologist in the ring. Grimlock and I were watching the Elimination Chamber last year, and we both thought he was legit hurt. He was selling so well, like it was brilliant, and he was fine.
Yeah.
He was completely fine, but you wouldn't have known it the way he was selling it because we've been watching wrestling our whole lives. We're like, is he actually hurt? Because we watched Randy for like his whole career, and I don't remember doing that. So the man gets it, and it's one
He
of the
does.
things that a lot of these guys don't understand. CM Punk's talked about this. That Eddie Guerrero is actually the one who taught him. It doesn't matter if you know how to do the moves. It matters if you know why. Why you're doing this move. Why am I doing
Right.
this move now?
That's
That's what
fair.
matters.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, someone else who was really good at selling injured, and it's weird because I don't really care for the character, is The Miz.
Yeah.
He's a
Miz is
really good
underrated.
worker. He's a very useful guy for WWE. He's useful, right? But he can sell that stuff really well too. Although
Yeah.
I never cared for the character very much. But
No.
but you got to give him props though. The Miz is more than you think he is. That
No,
guy.
he's one of
What's
those
his real
guys.
name?
Mike Mizanin. He's an Ohio boy.
Yeah.
Got a lot of them running around wrestling world at the top, at the tippy top in WWE and whatever. Ohio boys.
Well, didn't
Ohio's
they
a
have like
wrestling
Ohio
state.
Valley Wrestling back in the day?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to go that way, then of the last 20 years, all their top guys pretty much were Ohio boys. Even Cody was at Ohio Valley Wrestling for a while.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought it would be nice to put it up, talk a little bit about wrestling. It's always fun. But and I've always liked Drew as well. So cool. They gave him a little bit of props. It's nice. Is this the first time he's been given a belt?
No. He got screwed. He got screwed during COVID. He was so in 2020 in the Royal Rumble of 2020, right before COVID in January. He won that Royal Rumble. It was the biggest Royal Rumble attendance wise they had ever done up until that point. And he won that Royal Rumble. He eliminated Brock Lesnar, and then he was supposed to, and he did eventually have a program with Brock to become champion. Brock won the title in the interim, and what happened was everything got shut down. They weren't allowed to have that WrestleMania, not really, so they had to do it in a warehouse with no audience. It was literally a whole WrestleMania with no audience at all, and he won, but he had no crowd. So the next year and a half or whatever it was, where they weren't allowed to have shows, not real ones, he was champion for most of that, and then he lost it, and then he got it back. But he never really got to be champion in front of a crowd. So one of his things his character's been pissed about is that that he was screwed. He got screwed by COVID. He gets screwed by everybody. So he turned heel because everybody screws him. The whole world screws him. Bret Hart style, basically.
Right.
And
well, yeah, that's a little more legitimate though. The Bret Hart, the Toronto, Montreal screw job, right?
Well, yeah, but even before that, Bret was everybody's screwing me, da 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 da.
Right,
which he wasn't wrong. When you go back and watch from that era, he's completely correct. Everything he's mad about is correct. But regardless, that was kind of Drew's arc over the last few years, as he kept getting screwed. Yeah. And then he hadn't really been champion. He got the championship back for 5 minutes, or he got the World Heavyweight Championship, not the Undisputed Championship, for 5 minutes at WrestleMania 41, I think it was, or the one before, it doesn't matter. And then one of the guys cashed in on him and walked out with the title. So he lost it.
Of course.
Yeah, so he hasn't really been able to keep his hands on it, is my point.
Hold on a second, guys. I have an emergency in the chat that needs dealing with.
I see him.
Booster, you literally come from a country that has dumbass Maoris standing in your parliament doing haka every time they don't get what they want. You don't get more gay than that. Okay, I'm finished.
He does have a point.
Yes. And I'm using gay in the traditional sense, which means lame.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on from this, but good for him. Getting a little bit of credit.
Yeah, Drew.
Now,
Stephanie Phillips' Daredevil delayed. New villain preview review.
God.
Well, we're getting it anyway, dude.
Fuck did they give her that?
But because Daredevil was one of the characters that they love to tear down the most, because his character is Catholic and he is a person who believes in the law. Literally, he is an old school opinion of the law. And therefore this must be torn down. And we're just going to get more of it. He's a law professor, but his students are going to be giving him shit because the law, old thinking of the law is stupid, which is not, especially seeing as we're having a return to that thinking. But they must push against it. And he's got a new villain called Omen, and it's coming out of his past, and he's going to be suffered for it because Omen is a villain, but it's also a villain that you understand because they're a tortured soul. A good guy, really. So this is the shit we're getting. However, with Stephanie Phillips here, this one, it's going to be woke as hell. Yep. Notice the septum ring. Just notice
the tattoos. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But anyway, with that aside, though, so the writing is going to be horrible, and it's going to be just more mocking of Daredevil. However, I can't remember his name. What's this guy's name? Come on now. I know it's on the tip of my tongue. Help me up.
I just want to know.
Grimlock, the artist here.
Oh, the artist.
Which one?
No, I completely slipped my mind. I know they mentioned it.
Talking about when for this book?
Yeah, Lee
Garbett.
Lee Garbett. Lee Garbett. No.
Lee Garbage. Lee Garbage.
But no, this guy. This is beautiful, dude. Look at it.
Yeah, it's clean. I don't know if I like that style though, personally. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just my bias against Daredevil. Maybe that's all it is.
I
don't
know. But
something about Daredevil just turns me off. I can't explain it.
It does look good. However, it's going to just be more piling on Daredevil, Matt Murdock. It's just going to be more of it.
I just want to know who's simping for Stephanie Phillips and at fucking Marvel because she has never written anything that's fucking good. Like
Well,
I'm just gonna say it. I wouldn't be surprised if the chick is using fucking Chat GPT because her shit
it
looks
is
like
bad.
shit that was
It,
written by fucking AI.
it is, and um, I would assume it would have to be a female because I'm pretty sure this is a lesbian.
No.
No, she's a rich kid. Stephanie Phillips is a rich kid. She's a I
Well, they're
forgot
all
what it is.
like
Her
that.
no, a lot of them ain't. A lot of them are on fucking GoFundMe begging for rent money because they can't afford to live in New York. They won't fucking move, but they, you know,
Chester, she's got a PhD. She's like you.
In rhetoric. How
basically
dare
she has a
you,
PhD.
sir?
She has a
How
PhD.
dare you, sir?
She has a PhD in gobbledygook. That's about the same.
How dare
Oh, she's
you?
a Muay Thai fighter, Chester. Are you scared? She can kick your
No.
butt.
Excuse
And
me.
she is bisexual. It says it literally right there.
Right. Of course, because it's necessary.
Uh-huh.
PhD in rhetoric. Excuse me. Anthropology, Egyptology, Assyriology, philology. Much superior.
But go down. Look at her bibliography. All of that is in the last couple of years, and
Yeah.
the only people I know who think she's a good writer are people who just read comics in the last 5 years and never read good comics.
No. She's part of the group that is make everything female and gay. Yeah, no. She is.
No, it's
Yeah.
not even gay. It's boring. Look at that. Capwolf and the Howling Commandos. I was interested in that book until I found out she was writing it.
Yeah. You are correct, Booster. You are correct. Both the New Zealand Parliament and yourself can be gay at the same time. You're right. No,
True.
nobody. True. There we go.
Accurate.
And lady, hello, lady. How you doing? What are
Oh,
they
so
doing
she was
to you,
at
boy?
DC before that.
Yeah,
see.
no, I know, Booster. I like Daredevil, but yeah, no,
You know, it's
it's
funny.
just part of the attack, right?
They had a hit a couple of years ago with Zdarsky and Chichetto, and that run ran its course. Okay, fine, whatever. But since that run has ended, they seem to have gone out of their way to find the worst motherfucking people that they can put on these books.
Yep. No, because
It's like,
it's an agenda, and although we've seen some shifting in other places, Marvel Comics has not shifted at all. It's doubling, tripling. I don't know where we're
well,
octotupling down now.
I've heard they picked up a
DC is
decent
changing.
writer. I don't know if I don't know how that's going to work, but I've heard that Joshua Williamson, who had been writing the Flash for a while over at DC, is coming over to write Iron Man, and God knows Iron Man's been drugged through the fucking mud the last 10 years.
Oh well, it's not even Iron Man anymore. What are you talking about? He's dead, and he's an AI, and
No, he's
they brought him
back,
back. Okay.
and then for some stupid fucking reason they decided to marry him with Emma Frost because that made sense.
Huh? Well, they just can't.
Yeah.
They have to destroy everything, dude. Look what they've done to Mary Jane. Just look at all the hate.
Ugh,
That's the thing about
what
these
they've done to
feminists,
Mary Jane
these
is
woke feminists.
ridiculous.
They hate women more than anything. That's what they hate most is women. Men just kind of get in the way occasionally, right?
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate. I know it's going to be just more Matt Murdock bashing, which we've gotten a lot of, but I do like the art. I do like the style.
Art doesn't look bad, but is that going to be is that art going to be enough to overcome that bland ass writing?
No, it's not. It's not. We
I
can't even
will
read
say
some
the
of the
art
dialogue.
is much better than it had been in the past for a lot of these books. They're definitely been making a conscious effort to upgrade their artistic quality from what it had been, which I'll give them, which good on them. I wish they would, make a conscious effort to make the writing not retarded. Can we get that? Can we have storytelling
They
that,
don't.
works?
A big part
again?
of it is that they don't want to say it. That's part of it is that for as much resources Marvel should have available to it, the fact that they're just not saying, hey, Robert Kirkman, what would it take to get you to write X-Men?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
what would it, or go to Mark? Well, Mark Millar has already said he's not coming back. But even if he could, just hey, look, we got fuck you money. What would it take? How many zeros on this check do we need to write to get you to come back and write Fantastic Four
Right.
or
Mm.
something like
Yeah.
that? They have the resources to do it, because the ironic thing about Disney is fucking Bob Iger is what a lot of people said Eric Bischoff was. Where a lot of people said, "Oh, Eric Bischoff had no ideas; he just bought shit." I'm like, no, that's what fucking Bob Iger is. He just bought shit. He didn't know what
Yeah.
the fuck to do with it
Well,
once he got it.
keep in mind there
And
are some pretty strong rumors flying around that Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger are both out.
well, yeah, well,
Hey,
for Kennedy,
We'll
her
see.
contract is supposed to be finally running out at the end of this year.
Right.
Um, but the thing, but I'm saying the thing is like, all right, I think the last Night Owls we did, where I was telling you the most anticipated thing I'm looking for is the John Byrne X-Men Elsewhere that they're writing through Abrams Publishing, the company that did Fantastic Four Full Circle with Alex Ross. Again, Alex Ross, somebody who wants to do the Fantastic Four, you decided no, let's give it to Dan Slott instead.
Yeah.
It should be Alex Ross. Then you give it to Ryan North. X-Men right now desperately needs John Byrne or
Yeah.
Louise Simonson.
Yeah. Well,
Somebody. You have Jed fucking McKay
yeah.
and Gail Simone.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have much hope for Marvel. It's going to literally have to burn completely out before we get something. And here's a good example of what we're talking about as far as dialogue. Let me just read these panels right here. This
Mhm.
is my favorite part. I lost my sight as a child, but in the darkness God gave me something else, something more. I feel the world in a way most people never will. Every heartbeat, every breath, a single raindrop can tell me which way a man is facing. And I can hear a stolen car speeding around a corner from 6 blocks away. Now, okay,
That's not, to be honest, that's not bad. That kind of goes back to the
yeah,
Marvel,
no,
the
it's
old
not.
Marvel formula of,
No, no. In the old formula, that would be yellow box. That wouldn't be him
yes.
speaking because it
Yeah, that's
makes
what I
him
was
look
about to say. That's
pretension,
the difference.
right? It
Yeah.
makes him look pretentious. And of course, Matt Murdock is the least pretentious character you can imagine.
No,
He's
he's very
conflicted.
self-conscious. Yeah.
Yes. That would be yellow box. Yellow box
Yeah.
meaning third
Yeah,
person
that's what I was
narration.
going to say. That's the difference. That would have been like the Stan Lee blurb at the
That's right.
beginning of the book.
That'd be Stan,
And
hey, true believers, here we got
yeah,
ourselves a hero, born blind,
yeah,
God,
because
yeah,
that's how they used to be when I was a kid. That's every Spider-Man book was like that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
first page
You give a little
with
blurb,
the credits
let you
and
know
all
who
of
the
that.
character
Yeah,
is, but you don't have him say it because it's pretentious as
yeah,
shit. Yeah, because Matt, being the staunch Catholic he is, he wouldn't say this as a positive. He would, if you made him say it, he would say it as if it were a burden or a curse. I mean,
yeah.
that's Matt Murdock. They just don't know the character because they don't do research, dude. They don't. None of them do. Anyway, I just put this in here because, of course, but I do like the art. Anyway, they're still pushing this shit. By the way, go ahead.
pushing it. Hang on, it didn't change yet. There it goes. Scarlett Johansson might be the Batman 2's real Two-Face. We'll see.
This is the
I
second
thought they
time
were
watching
talking about her being
Gilda.
Phantasm.
Gilda was the big conversation, but it looks like maybe now she's playing Jessica Dent. But the thing with this is, we talked about this before. If they had her as Gilda Dent, and I would be okay with it. But this seems to be more along the line that she's playing Jessica. Now, that was a stupid, dumbass thing they did a while back, and it's truly stupid because the whole idea was that she was the holiday killer, and all her activity was to help Harvey, right, to build up his career and help him. Now, the problem with this is if you have Harvey Dent having some manner of criminality, villainy, and evil around him before he has his break, you ruin the character. Harvey Dent got to be Two-Face because of a series of events. He
Yeah.
was a staunch defender of the law.
He was a white knight.
He was a white knight, yes. And for you to do anything to tar that or mar that, it's just dumb storytelling. You're not paying attention. And DC did this with the Jessica Dent character. And it was dumb when they did it. And if that's what they're doing with Scarlett Johansson, it's dumb again. Now, if they had her as straight up Gilda, which is Harvey Dent's wife, by the way, and her adapting to the situation in the way she did in the comic, because she's the kind of gold digger type, right?
Mhm.
And she actually fell right in line with the Two-Face thing because it served her purposes. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But we don't. This is all speculation. We don't really know, of course. But I really hope they don't go the holiday killer route
But
because
what I will say is, so far, he's given us zero reason not to trust him. Mr.
Fair.
Reeves.
fair.
The Penguin is still the greatest live action comic book anything ever made. I don't think it's hard to debate. Like it's definitely in the top 5 if it isn't the best. And granted, that wasn't him directly making that, but it was under his supervision.
And she did a great job. She did.
Yeah, and the Batman movie, the Batman is the best Batman movie ever made. Not just the best movie with Batman in it or the best movie about Batman. This was the best Batman movie ever made, in my opinion, of course.
What they might be wanting to do is playing off the success of the villainous female in Penguin.
Maybe. Very possible. You could even have a situation where, Catwoman's still out there. I don't know if they plan on having her in this at all, but she's still out there, of course.
Well, if they want a bit of sexy, they'll have her in there.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, her dad's a pretty boy as well, right?
Yeah, you bring old Zoe back. You could have your little femme fatales. Batman's got great ones. He's got the best in comic books, actually, I think.
And he's vetted nearly all of them.
Yeah, he's a bit of a player, old Bruce. He likes some women.
Although
he's not, though. They just keep ending up in his bed.
Yeah. The only one that I remember in one comic, he ended up in the bed of just some MILF. But the only one that really bothered me in that regard, though, was Barbara. I don't think they should have done that. I think that was a mistake. I didn't like that. But yeah, no, he gets around. Batman.
But I mean, he's Batman. Come on, he's sexy.
Yeah, that's true.
He's that brooding badass. Every woman loves that. Tall, dark, handsome. He sits in a corner and pouts.
Yeah.
The women love it. I don't know why. It's what they want.
But the reason I put this in here is just to follow up on them trying to wedge, Scarlett in any way they can. And I don't have a problem with Scarlett. I mean, she's not a good leading woman, but she does play a good background character. She is good for that. So, we'll see. And you're right. Matt Reeves here has done nothing to make us think it's not going to be awesome. He hasn't. Yep. So just trust the process.
And he's been dealing with nothing but politics for 5 years to keep him, or 4 years to keep him from making this movie.
Fucking James Gunn, dude. Yeah.
Because of James Gunn's bullshit and DC and Warner Brothers' utter incompetence at the top. And it's a shame, because we should have had at least one more of his Batman movies by now.
We should have.
And we haven't.
But I think you should lean into the gap, though. Lean into it, right? Make that part of the story where we are 5 years later, right?
Good. Yep. Well, because that was one of the selling points, right? It wasn't Batman year 1. It wasn't Batman year 5. It was Batman year 2.
Right.
Yeah. So he's good, but he's still learning. He's still got shit to learn. And I liked that. I liked the fact that he had a moral lesson to learn, not just, learn about other stuff. There was something he needed to learn as a man, not just as a
That's
superhero.
true, Booster. Yeah.
And I think that was quite good. I think one of the things with Nolan's movies is what lessons did Batman learn in those movies, besides the same lesson over and over again?
He
Well,
didn't
this
learn,
one, that
just like
wasn't the
Thor
case.
didn't learn shit.
Yeah,
But this
exactly.
was very different, and it was good. The storytelling was excellent. Yeah, no, Booster, I've seen that. I don't know that they've confirmed it, but the rumors are strongly leaning towards Sebastian Stan as Two-Face, which is fine. I think he's a fair enough actor. Give him the chance,
I like
right?
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see what he
it's
can
a
do.
shame that somebody with competence didn't get control of Star Wars, so we could have got some Master Luke movies with him, with Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker, as
Yeah,
Master
that
Luke.
would have been good. Another character I wouldn't mind. I can't remember the name, Grimlock, but remember that the video game that came out years ago, and it had a you were playing from the point of view of a Sith. He would have been good for that.
You're
What
talking
was
about
You
wait, are
talking
you
about
talking
a
Star
lot
about
of
Killer?
Force Unleashed?
electricity? Yeah, Force
Yeah, Star
Unleashed. Yeah,
Killer.
that one.
Force
Star
Unleashed.
Killer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Star
yeah, yeah,
Killer.
yeah.
Mhm.
Star Killer. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
I thought he'd be great for that.
Yeah, he could
Well,
have
I
killed
mean,
that.
hell, Marvel, they dropped the ball with him as fucking Winter Soldier because he was a pretty
He
good
was
Winter
great.
Soldier.
Yeah, he was fantastic as Winter
He was a really
Soldier.
good Winter Soldier. Yeah, yeah.
They just never did anything with him.
Yeah, they did. Well, they got caught up in their bullshit. But
Mhm.
I hope he is. Give him a shot. Let's see if he can do Two Face.
Please,
That's a big challenge,
please,
though.
Chinese buy Marvel. That's my hope now.
No,
Oh,
we don't want
Let
the
the
Chinese
Chinese.
buying it. We want the Saudis to buy it.
No. You will see. You haven't played Marvel Rivals. They've actually given us the Marvel characters we fucking wanted. It took the
Yeah, I know.
Chinese
I've
to
seen that.
do it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah, but the problem is the Chinese have their own agenda and they are constantly pushing it. Um,
yeah,
you have to
So
understand
with the Saudis,
true.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
the Saudis are much more interested in money, where the Chinese are much more interested in politics.
Hmm.
I get your point. I get your point. But yeah. Anyway, let's move along. Just we're getting here toward the end. I'm going to drop over the box office, of course, but just to kind of show you the stuff that is going on in
Oh
entertainment,
boy,
of course. Ben Affleck has forgotten his bat. He's Batman. Well,
he
he
hasn't
wasn't.
forgotten.
He wasn't loved, so
No,
hasn't.
well,
Yes, he.
he was Batman for what, 5 fucking minutes?
Yeah, but no one really liked him as Batman.
no.
Um, of course, I don't care at all about GTA 6. You guys?
I would have
Uh,
if it came out 5 years ago. Now I'm just like, put the fucking game out already. What are we doing?
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
I'm putting it. I'm more tired of them talking about it
right.
because at this
Yes,
point, it's 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 them trying to make. It's the usual suspects trying to make more out of it than it should be
Of course,
because
of course. Yeah,
GTA 6 has an unenviable position of no matter how this thing comes out, it's going to piss people off.
but it's going to
Um,
make boku dollars, dude. It's gonna,
well, see
it's
that
gonna
was,
smash.
but even
yes.
in that, like, oh, how much it should cost and how is it going to play? Is it going to be woke?
This is the only
Is it going to
franchise
be
that could
this? Is
drop
it
it
going to be
$100
that?
and it'll make billions of dollars. I'm telling you.
Well, see, that's the other thing. I'm one of the few people who actually say, if it's $100 day one, it's kind of justified because if you use 5 as a reference, you're telling me I can get 13 years of game out of this for $100? That's a
Yeah,
fucking good buy.
it is a good deal.
I I,
I mean,
I know some people they want to play. Oh, it should be $60. You really gonna say you should get that for $60? I
well,
mean,
dude,
come on, you're paying 60, you're paying $70 a year for shitty Call of Duty.
true. And we have spoken about this. The gamers have managed to absolutely nix inflation in their market. They have.
That's right.
For
They
30
shall not tolerate
years,
it.
we have had no increase. 30 years, right?
Hmm.
And to be fair, spending $100 on a game, especially the way we do video games these days, is not that big a deal. And I think
Yeah.
what allows them to survive is things like Steam, right?
Yeah.
And people just can go buy cheap little things and play lots of little stuff all the time, therefore killing the opportunity for them to jack the price. But it doesn't matter. This game is going to
Well, they
absolutely
failed.
smash. They
They've
did.
completely failed too. Every time they've tried it, the only ones who seem to be inoculated, or what you want to call for protected, I guess, from it, are Nintendo. And I really don't think they have the cachet, we'll call it, in the market to dictate this overall. So I just don't. I don't
True.
think. I think it's the price has been decided by the people, which is the gamers, and that's what it's going to stay. And
Yeah.
they can fight it all they want, or they just can't sell games.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's one of the greatest examples of capitalism doing what it's supposed to do. The market, the people have decided this is what we're willing to pay you for your services. You will not charge a penny more, and that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Honestly, most of these games should be free, and then they should microtransaction. They'd make more money.
They would.
If they made them free
They
and then just
would,
sold
yeah.
cosmetics, they'd make way more money.
Those
But they
mobile
just
games make just crazy money, dude.
look at Fortnite. Fortnite's free as shit. They've made billions off of that game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
For instance,
Crazy. Let's see. Let's move on. Don't care about Percy Jackson declining. It's it's not for us.
Gojira.
Godzilla Minus Zero, of course, has been announced, coming out next year in November, or this year in November. We'll see. The minus one, or minus, what was it? Minus one.
-1, yeah.
Mhm.
Everything, I loved everything about it except for the acting was horrendous. But you
Yep.
guys can't see that, right? Because you can't watch it in Japanese. But everything else was great, though. It was really good. Yeah, I didn't put this up because we know. Blade is fully canceled again, and they're going to put it in Midnight Suns.
Poor Mr. Ali. Poor
As
guy.
as though I trust them to do the fucking Midnight Suns correctly.
No, it's a shame. They should have done that, gotten it out years ago. He's a perfect choice. It'd have been great. Once again, no one's talking about Starfighter. I don't think anyone gives a shit.
Nope.
South Park. Now, did you guys see this trailer for
I did not.
Wrecking
For
Crew?
Fortnite?
It actually
Oh.
no for Wrecking Crew with Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista.
Oh no.
It actually looks fun. It actually looks fun.
I wish Momoa would get back in better shape, though. It's a shame to have those genetics and let yourself be fat. What are you doing, Jason? Stop being lazy. Dave will get you the juice. You'll get jacked again. It'll be fine.
Dave lost a lot of weight too, but he looks good, man. I think he looks good. Save
Hey,
with
he's
Yeah, it's because he
too
got
old
off
to
the
walk.
juice.
Yeah,
He
he was
did.
too old to be keeping that juice
That's
going.
true,
That's-
and it's same with Dwayne.
Yeah.
He's off and he's leaned down, but I think they look better actually. Go watch the trailer. It's fun. I thought it looked like just a little fun little movie. GTA we talked about. Paramount has not given up this fight, dude. Even
They're not
though
gonna either.
Warner Brothers rejected them again. Keep that in mind. I didn't talk about it because we're still in limbo. I'll wait till something bigger comes. Still pushing the Supergirl thing. No one wants it. I don't know why Mandalorian Grogu is getting so much shit, but it is. Do you guys know why that is?
I don't
People
know.
are over it.
Maybe. Okay, we got Bonnie playing with the Lily Pad, a tech toy. This is all about how technology, electronics coming in, 80s kids. So Toy Story 5, don't know if we need it, but if it follows the formula, yeah. Of course, the Superman didn't really make money, unfortunately. And we got the Tangled cast, looks okay. Of course, Mark Hamill is still bitching about everything. He is a major TDS, but he also said that J.J. Abrams is the biggest hack. Yeah, we know this. Thank you for telling us the obvious. Of course, more about the merger and what's going on with that. And looks like we're going to get the Joker back in Batman. So make a choice, guys. What are we doing? How many characters you going to put in this movie? We know this doesn't work. Stop it.
Well, he's in the first one. He just makes a cameo.
Yeah, but we don't need maybe another cameo. Just kind of have him in the back like Thanos. I'm fine with that.
Set him up. Setting him up.
I have no idea who this is or what this is. Sebastian, of course, Batman, which Booster just mentioned. Two-Face. I've seen this trailer bouncing around. I haven't watched it. The death of Robin Hood with Hugh Jackman playing old man Robin Hood. I don't really care. Do you?
No, I didn't. Never even heard of it, and I don't know
Yeah,
how I
I've
feel about
seen it.
old Hugh Jackman. That makes me feel horrible as a human. Look at him
Yeah.
at that old.
Yeah, I like Hugh. We all love Hugh.
I do too.
Fuck right off. Okay. Uh,
Look at him. Look at Dom. Dom got hurt. I heard blew his shoulder out or something.
Is
By his
this-
dad. Him and his dad were wrestling.
is this Rey Mysterio's kid?
Yeah, it's Dominic
Yeah.
Mysterio.
Okay.
I don't know where he got the Chol genetics from, but yeah, he's like 6'3".
Dude, he looks just like his dad, man.
He's somehow a giant version of his dad. But no, he was wrestling his dad in Mexico because they, WWE owns AAA now. They bought it right. They straight bought it.
Yeah, I saw an article
So
on that. Yeah.
So they wrestle down there sometimes, and they were wrestling, and he blew his shoulder out. I'm pretty sure.
Ah, well, that's part of the danger of that sport.
It happens.
It does. Boucher said the top-selling games of 2025 cost $40 or less. A lot of them cost only $10. Yep.
Yeah.
The
Gamers will
indies-
not
that-
tolerate it.
No, the
But that's also
indies
because
rule,
the
dude.
AAA studios gave nothing. And it
Gave us
looks like
dog
they
shit.
So let's
It does
make
look
sure.
much better 2026.
And they tried to make us smile about it. Like, no, we don't want to play this. Like, listen, we don't want to play this. Stop making women the lead of everything. Gamers are done with it, especially since you don't make them hot. If they were hot, we could talk. But they're not. They're goofy looking, or, well, we wanted them realistic. It's a video game. Why's it got to be realistic?
Yep.
That's the only part of it that's realistic, by the way. By the way, these bitches are out here doing unrealistic shit, but that's got to be realistic how they look. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I always love how realistic always comes down to them being fat, ugly, and lesbian.
That's true.
Realistic.
Of course, we have Arc Raiders. That was a just mammoth explosion. Elden Ring DLC. Hollow Knight. This probably is DLC as well. I know it's, or at least the second one. Kingdom Come
Silk Song
Deliverance
is
2.
the sequel.
It is a sequel. Okay. Kingdom Come, of course, had some controversy, but it's so much love in the making of that game. Claire Obscure, I've heard of it. Doom, The Dark Ages, that was fun. A lot of fun. Actually, the Space Marines one was a lot of fun too. Dispatch. Now, I've seen a lot of hell given to Dispatch, and it is kind of your typical millennial thinking relationship game in truth, but I didn't mind Dispatch. Actually, it's kind of interesting. It lets you choose what you want, actually. Final Fantasy Tactics, okay, fine. Power Wash Simulator, of course. Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Dying Light the Beast, more DLC. So yeah. And this is the way it's been. The indies are just crushing it, dude. But nevertheless, let me go over because I'm on my time, and let's take a look at the box office here. Now, of course, it's been a couple of weeks, but let's see how it is. Avatar is still sitting at the top of it. Is it at $1 billion? Yep. So but no, it's not. He needs 2 billion, dude. He does. And
It's
that's
just
his
crazy.
own dumbass fault, and he's not going to get it. So it's insane that that's $600 million in pocket, right? $600 million. That would be the most epic success for anybody, but not for James Cameron. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable.
He's a wild man. He's a
He is.
wild man.
To be in all accounting, though, this movie is the worst of the three.
3 hours and 17 minutes, James.
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing?
Yep. Let's see. Primate. I've seen a couple things. I haven't watched the trailer yet. Group of friends, tropical vacation turns in terrifying primal tale of horror and survival. So a chimp is going to keep killing people. 13 million. Dude, that's Paramount, though. So that might not be making money. If that was an indie, they'd probably be near profit right now.
Yeah.
But interesting. The Housemaid, I had no interest in that whatsoever. But that's what's the big titty girl? Everyone's
Sydney
all
Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, that
She that was supposed. All the the libtards who was mad at her saying her career was over. Guess what, bitch? It ain't.
It
Yeah,
ain't.
she made some
And
money.
of course, the thing with her though is I've yet to see her in a successful movie. But this one is because that's Lionsgate. That's 70 million in pocket. Dude, they made
I
money. They
I
made
heard
money.
I heard that one was pretty cheap, and it it's the kind of movie chicks go to see, so it's
Yeah, yeah.
actually doing fairly well.
Well,
Sure, it's
it's the
probably just about cheating, like
well,
every
it
chick
is.
movie.
It's the babysitter versus the wife, right? It's
Yeah.
it's that type of situation. But they made money though, for sure. This right here is a monster. My God, dude.
Look at that. Look at that, bro. Good
Yeah.
job, Zootopia. And I hate that Disney's getting the money for it, but the
Yeah.
Zootopia movie, the first one anyway, I haven't seen this one. The first one I really liked. I thought it was really well made.
Dude, that's
So,
$800 million in pocket. You know
yeah,
they're deep in profit right now. Deep.
yeah. Probably saved Disney's whole year, to be honest,
Probably
as much
did.
as it could be.
Probably did, dude. Yeah. But absolute monster. Greenland, I like Gerard Butler. I watch every movie he makes. I enjoy him as an actor. But I doubt this is going to be any good at all. 4 million, yeah, it's Lionsgate, but I bet you this cost $10 to $20 million to make though.
Hmm.
But we'll see. It probably have legs later in streaming or something. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to pull out? How's David doing? Eh, eh. This
Not
is
well enough, probably.
near $40 million in pocket. They might be in profit. They might be.
It depends.
Yeah.
It just depends
Um,
what they spent on it.
I want this Hugh Jackman movie. It just seems so endearing to me. Yeah, they made $20 million. They're probably in profit on that. I don't even like
I'm
Neil
just trying to
Diamond.
figure out how that Greenland movie had a second part.
Yeah,
I never
right.
heard of the first one.
No, I saw the first one. It's all right. It's a cataclysm movie, right?
Yeah.
I Was a Stranger. Okay. 5 strangers are
A
pulled
Neil
together.
Diamond tribute act, not even a Neil Diamond movie, a
Yeah, well,
tribute
A movie
movie.
about a tribute band.
they're actually like a famous little tribute group from Wisconsin. They're actually a known quantity over there.
Hmm.
But it's just watch the trailer. It just is so endearing. But it's Hugh Jackman, dude. I mean, he's great at that. This movie made no money whatsoever. It's from Angel 2, though, so this must be a Christian story because Angel is a Christian studio, right?
Yeah.
Or at least a
I don't
Jewish
know.
one. Yeah, they're a religious group. Let's see here. Okay, Dead Man's Wire. I saw the trailer for this, but it didn't look very interesting to me, and it made no money. So, but it's super cheap though. All That's Left of You, Palestinian teen. Okay, fine. Yeah, whatever. Magellan. Oh, Magellan. Sorry, dumbass. Um, all right, so it's just a little story about Magellan, and it didn't make money. To theaters and last, Obex. Huh.
Obex.
It's a video game. Oh, it's one of them thingies. This is
Oh boy.
oscilloscope. So you if you like your TNA, you got to get some of that. No one watched it though. But a lot of these things are just being used to. There must be some purpose. I know with the Oscars there is, but there must be other purpose to having your film in a theater for a certain amount of time because most of these are making money off of streaming, right? So there must be something inside the industry that requires you to have a movie in the cinema. Maybe something to do with actors' contracts, or there must be something because we see them do this. They know they're not going to make any damn money, but it has to be in the theater for a certain amount of time. And then they just try to make their money on streaming, which it used to be make money at the Blockbuster, right? But now it's the
Hmm.
streaming. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. If someone knows that, let me know. But there must be something interesting. But so far this year, Zootopia, dude, just freaking dominating. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's what I got for you.
That's
So
it.
that's it. So
Ladies and
thank you
gentlemen,
all.
boys and girls, children of all ages. That is
All
it.
ages. That is it. But I hope you guys had a great new year. And we're back on normal schedule. So see you in a couple days. We continue to lock down Chicago. And I think it's going to
Chicago.
be a great year. I'm looking forward to it, dude. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of positive things to speak about, or at least I'm going to be optimistic in that way. But we kicked the year off nice. There's definitely some positive things going on right now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, Grimlock, would you like to say something to the peoples?
Well, New Year's has started off pretty damn interesting. I'm kind of
Yeah.
going to be kind of interesting to see how this next few months goes.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of hoping that that $2,000 Doge thing was going to happen because I wanted to test the TDS crowd's resolve. But
All right.
since that's not happening, it is what it is. And y'all have a good
Honestly,
evening.
it's a vote buy, is what it is. But I think a lot of us would rather just, dude, really dig into that debt. If in 4 years we could take that $34 trillion and drop it down into the teens or less, we'd be real happy about that, right?
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, if things go the way he wants, he might completely eliminate it, like Bill Clinton did. He might be able to do that. But to be fair, the economic situation he's putting in place is kind of a 20-year plan, really. So,
Yep.
Anyway, fair enough, Grimlock. Very good. Thundero, take us out of here.
Happy New Year, everybody. Not to be cliche, but a new year is a new time. It's a new beginning. You get one of those every year.
Mhm.
Every year you get a new chance to do something different. I saw something the other day. Dyson, I don't remember his first name, but the guy who made the Dyson vacuum cleaner and all these Dyson products, he's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars now. He didn't make his first Dyson vacuum machine until he was 46 years old. So if you're out here thinking you're out of time, you're out of your mind. As long as your heart's beating, as long as there's blood pumping through your veins and air coursing in and out of your lungs, you've got time. The only real time you lose is when you quit.
Yep. Namaste. Later, everybody.